That's what I say. It's darn close enough. I was out here like 30 minutes early. Camera looks low. Did I bonk it? I bonked it. Bonked it. I was out here like 30 minutes early and still almost started late. That seems like how we would run it around here. It is baking hot outside. Crazy. What do they say? Historical average. It is supposed to be 67 degrees outside right now. It is way hotter than that because, as I mentioned earlier, it's 74 in the building, and I've had the swamp cooler going full blast all morning because otherwise it'd already be like 85 inside here, and I would be miserable. Instead, I'm kind of cold. Fresh. Well, semi-fresh. Not fresh out of the package, but a fairly fresh one for Susan on the day. She's pretty good. How many more mini comps are scheduled? Well, those guys seem to get out here about every, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or so. So you might see another one. Towards, I almost said towards the summer. But what has happened here is we skipped winter completely, went directly into spring. We went into spring in about November. We had a one day where the overnight low was 34. It was warm all winter. So spring ended about 2 weeks ago, I guess, and now we're just going straight into summer. Susan doesn't go through them. They just get they look ugly. Like, see, nice. This one had a rig sitting on it. So it looks nice, but these, they just get like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. It looks kind of insecty. I don't know. But yeah, they look ugly. So these are what like the visitor rigs and the builds all sit on. MKRC kicking it off with a 5. We're keeping, as a group, you are all keeping the Sawtooth alive. So this is what I have to do today. This is mandatory stuff. This isn't. Well, I'm going easy on myself, and I'm doing. Hey, Sputter with the 10. That's keeping the Sawtooth alive. That's a little weird. That shouldn't wiggle that much. That's a lot. Well, I don't know. Let's see. These are, expensive Amazon axles. Oh boy. It's a theme. It's a theme that we run from week to week. Big old. That's actually probably my wife's hair from inside the vehicle, so I won't be too weirded out. How's this look? No, that's okay. No, it has 3 silver wheel nuts and 1 black one. Oh, okay. Same amount of sloppiness over here. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to not worry about it. That's exactly what I'm going to do. It'll be absolutely fine. So we do have stuff to do. All right? And I know we had discussed this, but not at great length. Like, as to how we're going to do the wheel. Do I have someone in the chat that is willing to be the guy Do I have somebody who volunteers as tribute to be the guy so that I don't have to spend half of my time here populating the wheel? Because if not, it's fine. We'll deal with it as we get to it. Yeah, Mr. Hurley, I'm sure, is at work. But if anybody is willing, we can start accumulating the names. I suppose this is my wife's buggy, which she will be driving in 2 days on Sunday. So it needs a little bit of a go through, and more definitely mine needs a go through. Oh, I was like, I almost missed Mr. Turner with the 10. Oh, man. It's another good one. It's another good one. Just so much hair. I couldn't remember how I had done her inserts. You'll love it. So it's an outer for, I think, a 525, and then an inner from what looks like a Crawler Innovations. So she's definitely getting a step up, I think. I'll do it, but only if I can put Toyota Guy on it. Oh, what a world it would be. What a world it would be. We should hope for something so great, you know? I don't know. By the tone of his comments, I don't feel like he'd be popping in money on a membership. I don't feel like that's in the cards. Oh, the front and rear axles are the Amazon very inexpensive Capras, fake Capras, and they are the fake Capras that I tell people, this is not the best way to do it, but this is a very fast way to do it, because typically either we have the same on my, yes, MKRC, yes, you absolutely can. You can find these axles on Amazon usually for around $110, and the stub axles will be terrible. What the portal gears look like is a question mark. You never know. Sometimes they come with machined ones. Sometimes they come with sintered ones. Sometimes the sintered ones don't look good. Sometimes the machined ones don't look good. The universals, I would recommend just swapping out for the double cardons. Basically, by the time you build them up, you've spent about $20 or $25 less than you would just buying the Mias. But unless you get lucky, if you get lucky and they're in stock in the U.S. warehouse for Mias, you'll get them in about a week. If they're not in stock in the U.S. warehouse, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 18 days, it could be 20 days. So this was an expediency thing. This whole rig went together in the span of about a week. So it isn't explicitly recommended. They're not terrible. You'll see they've got the little this little shape right here, like where it should say, you know, like curry or something on the axle. No, Mias Capra portals, the alloy housings are like 170, 169. The Mias nylon, the Capra straights are 109 for the Capra width and usually 100 for the AR44 width, and there's typically coupons or whatever available. And I knew it was okay to buy these axles again. It's the same axle on her as it is on here. These are just the black ones. What just rolled away? These are just the black ones. These are the same exact axles rebuilt with all the same parts as are on Wolverine. And they have been absolutely trouble-free since day one. So, like, why wouldn't I? Gotta get used to. I gotta get used to doing that. So, like, why wouldn't I? So, I've bought 3 sets of those. You don't save a ton of money, and no one could make any kind of compelling argument that the Mias axles aren't superior. Are the axles with the bolt-in ring pinion holder? Yeah. They use a full... The third member detaches from the inside just like a Capra axle. Yeah, it's sealed on the outside. So, yeah, they have the bolt-in... look just like Vanquish axle on the inside. So we're gonna get her belly off the rocks a little bit. I have bad luck with gift memberships. I just tried to join, but it wouldn't work with my PayPal for some reason. You know, that's not the first time I've heard that. And I have no idea. I don't know if that's on the PayPal end or if that is on the YouTube end. WAG RC is now Mia's distributor. Should be available in your local hobby shop soon. Hey. Is this given membership enough for a giveaway? Yeah, they all count. It's all the same. I think a Red Dawn Wolverines. If some will remember that the Wolverine name arrived because one of the first times he was being driven out there, I rolled it off of Gate 5. He rolled off of Gate 5, and when he landed upside down, he just went clank. And I was like, oh, like Wolverine, metal skeleton. So that's how simple that was. Mias ISO straights and Air 44 with good idea under VS410 rails. Yeah, it's a great idea. The Mias nylon straights are kind of, I know. Don't come at me. They're kind of a better F10 straight because they come fitted with isokinetics. I drove the one that had the tiny rock bumps on it. The one that broke and then got time off and then had to go back out on the course. I drove that one. And I told them, the folks from Hardline Killers, the same thing that I'll tell you, which is that vehicle has so much money and time and effort put into it that it's just like driving one of these, only it's smaller. Like, it would get fully sideways. It would do all the things. It was extremely capable. Someone in the comments on that video said that one of them has some sort of crazy, something about nachos, some sort of really sought after chassis or something. I don't know a thing about them. I know that it drove. It was very easy to drive. Did those drive shafts get to you yet? Not yet. Probably today. Our mail is slow. And if it was UPS, our UPS is slow. They come like 5, 6 o'clock at night. Are the ISO shafts a worthy upgrade for the Mias nylon portals? Yes. I personally think so. Even if you don't grind the travel stops off of the axle housing, even if you just put the doubles under there, the no camming, you still get, so you effectively get a little bit more steering angle. Who decided to take names? Mr. Hurley, MKRC is doing it. We usually don't, start pulling names for a while. We like to get in about an hour or so. Same Nacho Crawlers 24. Yep. What wheelbase on the Capra? I want to say it's... I can measure to make sure, but I want to say 355. 365 all year long. See? 365 on this one. Oh, MKRC. When we get in about, like, around, when we get into the 1 o'clock hour, people will start saying that they want to be in the running, right? You're just gonna like copy paste their at name, like at Canadian Yeti, at King Kong. They're gonna put those, right? And then just put them on like in a note or something in an email. Just copy and paste them directly into an email. And you'll send them to me, and then I will just copy paste that directly into Wheel of Names. And then bish bosh bang. And then we don't have to worry about, oh, can I be added? Was I not in it? If we'll give them, we won't rush it. We'll give it like 30 minutes or whatever. And I almost missed, what is your view on the new Axial SCX 10.3 Builder's Kit V2? My take on it is the same take that I've had since the moment I ran my eyes over it, which is, it is a good deal, but it is not a great one. It is effectively a do-it-yourself Coyote without the body, the wheels, the tires. And I know, like, the Trepidors I never thought were a good pick. They're a little too big. But I still view a kit as we're building a kit because they give us extras. The only extra that comes included on the V2 Builders Kit is it does include the dig kit. Okay? It's $269, which is $30 cheaper than the old Builders Kit was, but as who just pointed it out, Rob Races and Builds. Yeah, it doesn't have the Coyote shocks. They went back to the old, we know they leak all day long shocks. It does have the AR-45 straights, and the AR-45 straights are inherently superior to the AR-45 portals. I just don't like the portals. I don't like the panhard situation. I don't like how the rear axle tends to banana. There's a lot of problems I have with the AR-45P, and I acknowledge that the Pro 45 portal is basically the same axle. F10 portal is effectively the same axle, but the Builder's Kit not coming with the Coyote shocks, like, why didn't they just include this? Why did we go back to the shocks that Axial knows leaks? So they come with shocks that aren't usable, right? So it's another one. This is another instance where Axial, Horizon by extension, has released a part or a product once. That shock occurs on one vehicle. Look at what Axial keeps doing. Look at the four-wheel steer Capra with the OE compound Pro X. That's the only place you can get those tires. Those plastic-bodied shocks, one of the only Axial shocks that doesn't leak, only occurs on the Coyote RTR. You can't get it anywhere else. You can buy the plastics and build your own, but if you're going to buy your plastics and build your own, why don't you just get Chavtex? Why don't you buy a takeoff set of GTS? I don't have any motivation to build a set of plastic-bodied Coyote shocks from scratch. They should give them to us. They should fix the 10 Pro shocks, but the 10 Pro is discontinued. So you know they're never going to fix the 10 Pro shocks. The 10 Pro shocks will exist in eternity as they always have. So I don't understand Axial. They'll put a model out, and that model will be available on the open market for a year, 2 years, and then they're like, oh, we'll just discontinue that and pretend that it never happened. The only thing that I can hope is that after the Coyote, and now with the SR5 being same, it's a very expensive Coyote, we'll never see the 10.3 slush box again. The new AR-45P axle housings are never going to be available on anything but that rig too, I bet. More than likely, the trail gear housings. Now, Axial has already released the part number, and they show up on Horizon, and they show up as being available, am I remembering right? Mid-July? Yes, the Wizard price is going to go up because of tariff times. Apparently, it's costing them significantly more to get it into the country, which I believe. I don't believe that they're fabricating that. And Odd6 posted, where they posted it? On like a Facebook group. They posted it somewhere about going at it with different methods. Like, we could take stuff out and still sell it for $500, or we could leave all the stuff in and move the price up to like $650. And $650 to me still seems fair. $500 was absolutely, it felt like theft. Like you were getting way too much for your money. Now, currently, I still maintain that unless you're willing to do all the legwork and roll your own completely, the VRD Carbon Kit, still sitting at $429, still eligible for coupons, which means if you use the big A-Main coupon when you order, you're going to pay $3.99 for it. $3.99 for a VRD Carbon Kit cannot be beat. Not right now. I have, I've got question marks, right? Like, they have all the bits. Please just, Axial, please, just take the stuff you already have, okay? At the most, you might need to make some rails. Take some of the bits of the Coyote and some of the bits of the 10 Pro and just smush them together. Smush them together and make a Coyote Pro. Make a Coyote Pro kit that's on flat rails, right? Give the stance some competition in the RTR space. I still say you should never buy a stance in a universe when the VRD Carbon Kit exists. And I still believe, it does not seem to be possible to copy paste a name directly from chat. I'm gonna try it. Copy. And then where are my notes? Where'd my note go? Gotta move them over here. Oh, if anybody saw this, it'd be nothing. It's shift codes for Borderlands. I can do it. I can copy paste. It's tedious, but I can do it. They will take the wrong parts. 10 Pro Gearbox and AR-45Ps. There it is. Yeah. I right-click it. I have to drag it, and then I used Command V. I hotkeyed it, which is, what is that for you guys? Windows V. What is copy paste? What is copy paste in Windows? So, she was nailing belly to the ground quite a bit last time out. So, Control V. So we'll see if this helps. You know what I like? I like that no one has been like, what does it look like yet? Hey, Rick's RC. I don't know what you're thanking me for, but you're welcome. If I can, I'm glad if I helped. I'm glad that I helped. Yeah, there's just some wiggle in that bearing. If there is no extra in Axial Kit V2, why not buy a Coyote RTR? You can change the body anyway. 32. I almost said HD. DH32. Let me tell you something. That's where I am right now. Like, what is the real advantage of buying the kit? Okay, it comes with Dig. Dig is out of stock at like every hobby store on the internet, but you can buy them on Amazon right now on Prime. $53 for the Dig. Okay? So, that is a thing. There's a $70 difference between the Builder's Kit and the Coyote. Well, it's more like $120 because of the Dig. Bronco, what's going to happen is at about 1 o'clock or so, which is in about 35 minutes, we'll start asking who wants to, we'll give you a phrase that pays. We'll be like, say, put me on the wheel, right? Something like that, one time. And then whoever's doing it, I hope it's still MKRC, and I hope he's not having to type too much. He will just copy your name, and then he'll send him to me, and then I'll put him on the wheel. That's how we're gonna do it. Yeah, Coyote also comes with a $50 receiver, and then you can sell that receiver and buy a radio link with it. Because if you buy a DX5C, may God have mercy on your soul. I mean, it's not a rugged, but, you know. So we should have, we should do a little better on the ground clearance now. Ooh, that's fun. I might have put, you know what? I don't know if maybe I can reach it with a ball end. I think on this setup, she should be right about there. I really don't want to rebuild these. It drives great. I think it just sits a little too squatted. Oh, it doesn't squat as much in the front because the back of the servo is hitting the little cross member. Bonk. Bonk. Okay. That's fine. It doesn't need to compress that far in the front. I could just put a travel stop in the back. Yeah, no, I think this is a it ain't broke, so I'm not going to fix it situation. Is there a time limit you give yourself when starting a new build project before throwing in the towel and calling it and moving on? No. No. There's stuff that sat here untouched for a year, and then just gets picked up again. There's so many that are unfinished. Some get built so fast, I feel like they're getting too fast. Did this rig just get geologic infections? Yes. Yes, it did. Yeah, it's not a time limit, it's a space limit. Yeah. I have a project going on 3 years and I'm stuck. I feel that. I have a couple that have been idle for what feels like a long time. But then I realize, well, this just, yeah. Fronts are still full touching on the 4-inch. That's how that other block got the dents in it. You gotta stand them up like that. Keyboard commands work where mouse clicks didn't seem to, so the list is building. Yeah. That is something to do. It's something to do. So it's not. It's YouTube. It's YouTube. I can't do copy paste with the mouse into the chat. Like if I copy a link off of Amazon, it doesn't work. It's weird. It's real weird. 4 more of those. Everybody has a container of rings, too. Now, this one, I did the easy one first, you know, as one does. Oh, wait, before I get started on this. So, good old Larry. The aforementioned Coyote shocks. They're for those who didn't, watch with great intent, and I would understand. Similar type of configuration with the AliExpress / Amazon inexpensive axles, and they have been completely gone through. And I think I replaced most everything. I think all of the hardware ended up getting replaced. Someone asked in the comments what I knew Miata Commuter was not going to be on board with this one. This is counter. I think I replaced nearly every fastener on the entire vehicle, and then, you know, cut the skid, and that allowed me to scooch the motor to where it cleared the drive shaft and everything, and the cut to lengths, the cheap cut to lengths came out just fine. What's the easiest way to get rid of torque twist? The first thing, Mr. Jones, that you need to do is you need to go through the vehicle in its entirety, and you have to make sure that what you have is indeed torque twist. Every vehicle, Mike Lowry, every vehicle is going to do this under torque because the drive lines are rotating. They tend to rotate this way, and torque is going to take the path of least resistance. Mr. Hurley, you are correct. People, if people want to start asking now, it's fine. MKRC, if MKRC wants to tell them to knock it off, then he can tell them to knock it off. So on torque twist, more often than not, it's not torque twist. 9 times out of 10, there's that guy. There's the man from Montana sneaking in. 9 times out of 10, what is thought to be torque twist is a wheel hex is binding against a portal box, or a wheel hex is binding against the end of an axle tube, or a drive shaft is fully inserted to where it's now binding, or slider section drive shaft is got grit and stuff in it so that it can't slide, so that it's kind of pulling the suspension against itself. And then there's the other items, which is the front springs on these. And if you look, use your beautiful eyes, the little things right here, we can see. Let me see if I can hold it where it is. That is where this sits when it's on the bench. That is a 0.4 pound spring. That is a Deluxe Ultra Soft. There is so little sprung weight that it's not very difficult for the torque of moving the vehicle to make it do this. That body lean, body roll, that kind of motion, that is not torque twist. All of these do it because they're sprung very lightly. I want to say those are greens in the front, and these look like 1.2s in the back. So this thing has about 5 pounds of springing on it, and it weighs 9 pounds because it doesn't have that much sprung weight. The torque doesn't know the difference between sprung weight and unsprung weight, right? Because the torque is almost exclusively, unless you're MOA, your torque is sprung. It's on the chassis. His is on the chassis. The one that was over here before was on the chassis. So when everything turns, this is going to want to do this. That's not torque twist. That's just body lean, body roll, whatever you want to call it. Torque twist is you are in a situation, a position, or a condition where, look, we'll make a little foam mountain. Where we're climbing up like this. We're climbing up, right? We've gone up like this and we've gone up like this. And as the weight transfers, you get that cross weight transfer. As the weight is down here on this tire, this guy rises up in the air like this, right? And you know, sometimes if you give it a little bit of throttle, it will kind of, or you give it a little wiggle, you give it a little one of these, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. You can watch it, as I say, set back down. It'll set back down. If you're in this configuration like this, and you've got this tire is lifted up like this, right? And as you apply throttle, it goes like this. If you see this motion where it's starting to lift like that, that is torque twist. Because as you're applying that throttle, the cross weight, this tire is causing this tire to raise. This tire's job is to push this tire down. This tire's job is to push that tire down, right? So more often than not, torque twist is geometry. So it's not, it tends not to be springing. You can get torque twist. If torque twist is present in the system, you can get it with no springs. You can get it heavily sprung. The shocks, the dynamic portion of the suspension are not part of it. It's the geometry. This guy basically can't do it. Look at the attitude of his rear axle relative to where his front axle is. So as this drives, it's pushing down. So what it's trying to do is, imagine this motion right here. It's trying to put, that's anti-squat. The rear is trying to push the front down. So if you're in a situation where you're starting to climb and one wheel is starting to rise, if they both rise, that just means that your traction is starting to outdo your geometry. Your links can't hold you down. Your layout, your link separation, your link length differential, all that can't hold you down. There are many things that are band-aids. Negative springs are band-aids. Put simply, underdrive. Underdrive is a little bit of a band-aid because it's trying to keep the front down by virtue of slowing the rear. What did I miss? Sus says link geometry doesn't matter. I mean, God bless him. You know, it's a free universe and he's allowed to say what he wants. But if that were true, we wouldn't have all of these holes. These are not decorative holes. Link separation and link differential. And yeah, I'll go so far as to say that rear caster matters as well. I noticed a couple ones on there. Hey, you know, shout out to the people who know. Shout out to the people from the Discord. Your name's got to be green to get on the wheel. The giveaways are for members. You know what? I'm starting to come around. Maybe Toyota Guy is right. Toyota Guy in 1971, maybe he's right. Okay? Not right in that he called me, what did he call me? Dishonest? I'm being dishonest in requiring you to be a member. It's right in the membership thing. I mentioned in every live stream, well, what if I don't watch the live stream? Link geometry doesn't matter, question mark. Yeah, Boomslang Suspension has stated that geometry basically doesn't matter. And he has also stated that underdrive cancels out anti-squat. Link risers are still improperly used, 100%. That is absolutely correct. The link length, the link spacing, the spacing at the axle and the spacing at the chassis are two independent things. Like you will notice, this guy has got his rear link mounts all the way up. They're as high as possible. And then he uses an offset link, and we're running links roughly parallel in the back. We're running links roughly parallel in the front as well. And on this guy, we're running very long uppers and lowers. The only way Toyota Guy is right is if you want to lose memberships. I mean, I still think that requiring you to be a member to win, to get one of these, to get the things I'm giving away, I still think that's fine. I honestly don't have a problem with it. If any squat doesn't matter, then why do you see John Knox Camaro do a snow plow when he lets off the rear and the rear sinks? Or why don't dragsters just go whee and just fly away into the sky? The memberships help pay for shipping. Yeah, he's just being cheap and lazy. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Some of the initial comments, it got under my skin a little bit, honestly, because he in the comments he said I was being dishonest, and I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all because I don't think I'm being dishonest. Geo is also what controls pinion angle through suspension travel. Yes. Chris and Mr. 892, you're absolutely right, because I had to and still have to struggle and grapple with how to keep no caster change in the rear on four-wheel steer rigs. Oh my God, it's so hard, because unless you're laying out your own chassis and determining all of your own mount problem situations, all of your link lengths, it gets tough. It gets tough because typically a pinion angle, this one is pretty neutral. I mean, it's pointing way up. There's never any chance that this guy is going to be pointing down below the links. This one's actually pretty neutral. But I also have what someone in a Facebook group had mentioned, that they think that it's a bad idea to clock the axle this way with the portal boxes leaned this way, because they think that it will make the rig go over more easily. I can understand where that idea would come from, but I don't think it's correct, because on the rear axle, rear caster is not as important as front caster. Rear caster is mostly Sondeker. Oh, okay. I'll remember that. Members only is the least one that can ask. Mr. C requires no other hoops. Yeah. Prior to my membership, I didn't expect to get a chance to win, so I joined, and it's an incentive. That's the idea. And what I tried to lay out for Mr. Toyota guy is that I can't, I didn't win the lottery. I have a lot of people that are very kind in their contributions. The man from Montana, Sawtooth Turner, Miata Commuter, the man from Tennessee. There are plenty of you out there who, Mr. Hurley, there are plenty of you that in little ways, big ways, all the ways help the channel. We build a circle. And I don't mean it in a kumbaya, sit by the campfire kind of a thing. I mean, people give me things, and I give some of those things away, and some of the things gets turned into builds. I think I gave away 13 rigs last year, and I've already given away 2 this year, and the third one will be good. Yeah, I can't forget Jimbo. The man from, if he's not in Costa Rica yet, he will be. So, I couldn't afford to do any of this were it not for all of this, right? So I don't even view it as giving back. I view it as I love building them. I can't keep them all. It's physically not possible. And I'm going to keep building them. Yeah, everyone who is a member contributes to the shenanigans, whether they intend to or not. That's absolutely right. RC Underdog was nice enough to say, would you do a giveaway for this? So I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then I went through it and I put my own little touches on it and I cleaned it up and here it is. And so I got my kid and they did it. They did a good job. Anyone who thinks membership should be required shouldn't be required, doesn't understand how little YouTube views pay. Oh my God, you have no idea. The worse the economy gets, the worse the RPM, CPM gets. The less advertisers are paying, and the less YouTube is paying per 1,000 monetizable views. And also do take into account, if you have no experience with YouTube as a content creator, I absolutely understand that. I think most people don't. Monetizable views is a real sharp cutter that most people don't know about, which is, if you have 1,000 views on a video, if that video is doing well and has good engagement, 500 of those views will be monetizable. And that's if you're doing well. More often than not, think more along the lines of 300 monetizable views per 1,000, which means your video has to get 1,000 views has to get 3,000 views to get 1,000 monetizable views. And then the payout rate on Monday is different from Tuesday, is different from Wednesday, is different from Thursday. I want to say, oh, I just threw away the box. No, the 3D printed little guy was sent in. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. What makes them non-monetizable? Well, you have the guy that clicks on the video, watches it for 10 seconds. Psh, that's a view, but it's certainly not monetizable. And I'm still doing it. I'm still just setting them down. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of hobby foam. Like, I don't want to use hobby foam because I think it might be too grippy. But it needs a little something right on each side right here because it's a pretty good fit, but they've got a little bit of wiggle. And he put some nice little feet on the bottom, and the feet help because they can make it sit, right? It doesn't want to move around, but because these things are heavy, when you put one in and take the other one out, it's a little, for a first run, and I'm assuming, I can't imagine that this guy has printed out 100 of these. If this is early on in the process, this is really good. This is really good. The fluffy part of Velcro to help hold drills. Oh, that's a good idea. Fuzzy said a Velcro is a good idea, but they fit and it definitely works. And did you see it right there? This is my problem. If you don't lift perfectly straight, it gets a little wobble, wobble, wobble. It's the weight of them. They're heavy. Put some brass in the bottom of the drill holder. The other option is pop the little rubber feet off, glue it to like a big chunk of wood. And then I don't have to worry about it. It is like, it's definitely handy. Use the vel of the Velcro, and the other part is the crow. Yeah, all right. Oh, so I turned the kid loose on it. The kid said, we did white last time. Do you want to do silver this time? And I said, sure. And they were like, let's go with like a sort of a monochrome thing. And I was like, look, you're Sawtooth Turner that's his second 10, right? Sawtooth Turner with his second 10. And he hit a couple. Rice Krispie 320. Names I've definitely seen. Yeah. So, the kid went to work on the paint. I mean, come on, right? It's pretty good. Look at that. Because RC Underdog is down in San Diego. And if you go right outside our house, it looks more like this. So we got them both in. And did it pain me a little bit to cut the sides up that much? I mean, a little. But it was dragging Lex in real bad otherwise. So, and of course, it retained the big RCU on the top. How helps if paid YouTube Premium user hit like or comment? So YouTube Premium has like a payout schedule where, say, a premium user, you get like X number of cents, and the longer they watch the video, the cents go up. So there's more cents paid per view. And it might actually be fractions of cents. But in a month, premium probably all total comes out to about $100. About $100 monthly is from premiums. And I think I had read that the number of people that have YouTube Premium is actually pretty small. Good thing I watch all your videos all the way through. Somebody has to. Toyota guy said deceptive, and this channel isn't Tomley or Talbot with buying tickets. This is a community that gives and receives. That's the way I like to think of it. Hey, it's the man from Belgium. How's the weather in Belgium? Hopefully it's cooler than it is here. So if there was a question that didn't get answered all the way, just let me know. Yes, an hour early we are, yes. So when YouTube makes no sense, it really means no sense. It means both. Playing your videos on a loop will help. I have premium, can't stand the commercials. Honest to God, I was doing this channel for over a year before I subscribed to premium. And I was accompanying my wife to the gym when she was going to the gym right down the street. And I would just walk on the treadmill the whole time she was at the gym. I didn't want to do anything. So I would set the speed at like 3 miles an hour and I would just watch YouTube videos. And we were there on a Sunday morning. This was before the trailing stuff, so this long ago. And I was trying to watch a Matt's off-road recovery video. Sweet, merciful baby Jesus. The commercials were every 6 minutes. I subscribed to premium right there on my phone in the gym. I was like, I cannot. Mr. Hurley! YouTube Premium also allows me to put 1 like per device on your videos. Oh, hey. So, hey, there's people here. If you want to do something amazing, when you go to bed at night, pick any live stream. Just pick a live stream. Oh, no, we should give it a number. Pick like the week before's live stream. So pick the live stream from March 6th and just let it run. The RPM, the CPM on the live streams is unbelievable. Like over $100. So if 1,000 monetizable views, I had a live stream last year that when I was browsing through my content, the CPM on that video was like $3,000. So if it had gotten 1,000 monetizable views, I would have made $3,000. But that means it would have to get like 3,000 plus people watch it all the way through. Also, YouTube is slowly removing our ability to see deep into the analytics. What about picking a playlist so it keeps running all night? That works too. Because what YouTube looks at more than anything is still engagement. How long do people watch the videos? That's their number one thing. A lot of content creators, I think, have gotten it a little bit twisted because they'll say, oh, YouTube is pushing short form. No, they're not. They want this. They want long form. They want people to watch as long as possible. Have you ever built an RC four-wheel drive? And the question, we've always thought it's amusing that the 4 with a shift 4 is a $sign, so that you can accidentally type RC four-wheel drive as RC $signs wheel drive, which is also accurate. Yes, I built a Marlin. We did a build series sometime quite long ago, several years ago, building a Marlin. The Marlin has actually we built more than one, didn't we? Yeah, we've built a number of RC four-wheel drive rigs here, but I don't know if there's anything in the current catalog. The lives should be in a playlist, just called Crawler Canyon Live. Now, the thing of it is, sometimes it breaks and it won't add the newest videos to the playlist. I will have to go and check that and make sure that it's been adding the newest videos. It should be automatically adding them to the playlist, but YouTube should be doing a lot of things, and it, to be completely honest, doesn't often do a lot of the things that it should be doing. I've never had to take this guy apart. I think it's just 5 out. I think I just pull all 5 screws. Oh, yeah, this is a nightmare. I remember this now. I told myself I was going to drill the rails out so that I could leave it pinned, but I never did. I often leave Android tablet playing a playlist of your videos with audio muted while I mess about with the modular synth. The only way I can support the shenanigans. Hey man, every single view helps. I caught up with them who typed 1, only added if you're a member. If you have not entered for today's giveaway and wish to be added, type a 1 in chat. Only if you have not typed 1, all caps. I think the Canyon needs to be able to C2X. It's more Canyon 4 length. I think C2X is discontinued, correct? Do you have to make the playlist, or does YouTube? YouTube doesn't do nothing. I have to make them manually, and I have to add the videos to them manually. My plants like the sound of your voice, so I sometimes leave your channel playing while I'm gone. Hey, all right. Yeah, all right. This many people hadn't typed 1 before? That's crazy. That seems incorrect. Because what's going to happen is everything is going to fall apart as soon as I get the last of the screws out. His gearbox health is not at 10. I think Mr. Rosu often goes to sleep with a live stream in the background, probably half the time unintentionally. Crazy Clips 3D give you a shout out for the Bronco without tagging, unfortunately. He tagged me on Instagram, so you know, I'll take it. I think the side plates fall off. I think everything falls apart. I mean, you know, inevitably. C2X is out of stock on RC Pro Drive, but not listed as discontinued. I think it's a soft one. If you're updating playlists, could you add the rig name to the build series number? I should. Yeah, I really need like 2 interns. How's the wheel on Wednesdays? Still my wife asks when another one comes out because she loves you and Mrs. C's banter. The wife honestly looks forward to it, or seems to. If she doesn't actually look forward to it, then she's good at faking it, I guess. The downside of living on the other side of the earth. Yeah. Yeah. Some of y'all are pretty far away. Debating ordering the TI optic cage from him. Worried about the quality, though. So I've gotten 2 D1RC cages, and they both seem great. What are people using for electric screwdrivers? The PS31 is my guy. I'm not saying that I would recommend it to everyone, because it definitely has its own sort of built-in learning curve. A lot of people, I can't use pencil style, the long ones. I just can't do it. I joined late. What's up with the ones? That's the people asking to be put on the wheel. Second job for the painter. Ugh, I'm lucky I can get him to paint. I'm watching you on a plane flying from Michigan to Salt Lake City. Hey. Need to change my weekly alarm. Yeah. Oh, hey, Europeans. When do you go to summertime? It is my understanding that you call it over there. When does summertime begin in Europe? Yeah, DeWalt Gyro is one I hear a lot. Have you had a chance to look at the Wailing Banshee of the Sheila yet? I have not. She's been sitting on a thing. Like, I was ahead and behind at the same time. Oh, I'm missing some. She won't even let me hike it with her. You just need to tell her that you're going to go out to like lunch afterwards or go to the mall. It works every time. Any hardware kit recommendations for someone just starting out building rigs from scratch? Mias has one. Go to the Mias website, and it's in the alternate items or whatever. They have a big hardware box. It's pretty nice. Did you see the pic of my wife's Ghostbuster Ecto body that she obliterated? Sort of. Like the pictures that I saw, it didn't look that obliterated. M12 Milwaukee would be the same thing as this. It's just Milwaukee's version. I've just been stuck in the Bosch ecosystem for so long. I use my tool set that also works on computers and cell phones, tablets, and electric driver. Yeah, who are those guys? Fantic. Fantic makes a great one that like goes in a tube, but I can't use pencil style. I'm a pistol grip for life. I have a D1RC aluminum clone of the Vanquish optic plastic cage. I've been happy with the fit and finish. Nice. DeWalt gyro. What heck shaft tools? It's all MIPs here, as noted by that. The buy one, cry ones. You basically only need the 1.52, 2.5. That's, I mean, 1.52, 2.5. That's really all you need. If you get into other stuff, you can start getting yourself some ball ends, nut drivers, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's all the MIP drivers. I have there's a whole wall of them over here. I recommend to people to get the trio of the 2.5, 1.5, and then get either the MIP handle or a handle of your choice. That way you can use them in a driver, or you can just use them as conventional tools. Try not to fall behind. March 29th, 27th there, last weekend of March. Oh, so we're not that far ahead of you. We're not that far ahead of you. Yeah, we have 8 months of daylight savings time now. You won't like the DeWalt gyro if you're used to 12 volt. No. I have a little pistol grip guy that's in the same series, the old Ryobi ones, the Tech 4. This is the thermometer. Yeah. This is the thermometer. I have the little drill guy, the companion to this one, that uses the little, oh my God. Uses these little 4-volt batteries, which is basically, we know that's an 18650 in a housing. Yeah, the torque differential, it's not something I can work with every day. But I use this to drill, tap, put wheel nuts on, the whole thing. I like my M12, but it can get away from you quick. I've been using my Fantic tube one that you just talked about more lately, though. Yeah. I'll have to comment on your wheel once today that GCM has a video about how to go about setting the pinion depth on their LRT combo. I'm wondering, like, if I set the pinion depth that bad, that gear in there is ruined. It looked right. Hey. Because I set it with it outside. You know, I put the gear in the face mount and I set it that way. How many times have you had to replace the MIPs? I replace this one, the 2mm insert. I replace this about once a year. I get a year out of it. But, yeah, I know. I have a drill stand now. But I use these tools far more often than the average person. This is my third 1.5 because I've dropped and or broken all of them. I've never worn one out, but I'll leave it in the driver and then I'll go like this, whoops, drop the thing and it lands straight down like that and just shatters the tip off. But as far as like the hand tools, I've had my 2mm hand tool so long that I'm starting to wear off. Like you can barely feel that. It's almost just down to the level of the plastic now. It's almost not. And it's still great. The hand tools will last a lot longer. These things you wear out. You know, I'm pulling beadlocks apart. I have around here what I call Beadlock Thursday, where I put together and take apart multiple sets of beadlocks in one sitting. I did 13 sets one week. So these guys get beat up. Every time I see the MIP guy at an event, I always go up to him and I go, what's the deal with the 2mm always wearing out? Because he gets that all the time. Because people give him grief about the 2mm wearing out. Because it used to be, to build a rig, you needed the whole array of tools and drivers. This whole rig goes together and comes apart with this. There might be 1 or 2 spots where I might have to switch to a 1.5, but I think almost the entire rig is just 2mm for the whole thing. So it's not surprised. They last a lot longer if you don't use them as a pry bar. That's also true. What's the best carbon fiber LCG kit? VRD Carbon or Mias Gold Rush? I have to give it to the carbon if it's between those two because of the gearbox that comes in the VRD. You cannot replicate that gearbox. That gearbox is real good. The Gold Rush is still standing tall as like the economy king, whether it's V1 or V2. Also, Mias gets a little bit of another point, a small strike against him by going their own way and rolling their own when it comes to the spur gear. If they had just used a normal spur gear, that would have been great. I love my VRD Carbon, but then again, I've changed it to a Zoku chassis and sliders, and oh my god, it's awesome. Yeah. ZRD over VRD, but I still... Where'd you go? Where did you go? I'm hoping I can just lift this straight up. And then we're going to find out how difficult it's going to be to extricate the gearbox, because I think the gearbox has to come completely out. Was there a new Axial Builder's Kit release? Yes. The 10.3 four-wheel drive, 10.3 V2 four-wheel drive Builder's Kit, 4x4 Builder's Kit, something like that. Some of you typed a 1 after you did it before, hence doubled up ones. Removal for not following instructions. I love this. I love this. Yeah, ZRD plus Stealth X will get you a Voodoo Ranger. That's true. Working on a purple Capra. DIY stance or Coyote kit? Coyote kit. There's no value in the DIY stance because it doesn't have if you can't spend the extra $150 on getting a carbon, you're better off just going with the Coyote, because you're going to get the LCXU is a great gearbox, and the only way to get it, this is is this way, is in a kit or buying a Coyote RTR or overspending on an SR5. I don't. When people say, and I will get this as a defense a lot, people are like, the stance is the most capable RTR that you can buy. And when they say that, to use something that digs deep into my generation, that's like being the smartest kid in the slowest class, is what that is. The stance and the carbon are ostensibly the same thing, but the carbon does what kits are supposed to do, which is come with all of the hop-up goodies. So, also, I'm saying the stance sucks. The thing about the stance is it's such a nerfed carbon that I anticipated Vanquish was going to discontinue the carbon or bump the price up because it's too cost effective relative to everything else in their line. It doesn't make any sense. That cage. Oh, I was like, that cage is kind of heavy. Yeah, it has a battery in it. VFD click is assembler error. Disagree. Because if I had them in bags right now, I could build 2 VFDs right in front of you. Exact same bits, exact same everything. And there's a 50-50 chance that one's going to click, and there's a 50-50 chance that one's going to click. Argenum was a launch edition Phoenix with the twin. He still clicks. Not all the time, but the click comes back. His VFD twin is full Thesian. I have changed the motor plate, the standoffs, all the internal gears, all of the plastics except for the rear plastic that the lever arms go through. That is the only piece that is still remaining. And every once in a while, I'll be out driving him and he goes, and then it goes away. The one that is in the Cultra, 0 click. The VFD comp that is in Vermilion, no click. The VFD twin that is in Zorana sometimes clicks, but we got rid of the click. No, you have no control over the click. My recommendation is if you've got a click and you're putting in an order at A Main or Tower or wherever you're ordering from, if they have the bag of Gearbox plastics in stock, just order those plastics, and then the next time you service your Gearbox, just change the plastics, because they are the thing that is more likely to have some sort of variance in it, because they're just molded. And I used to think that it was only the twin that clicked. And the whole time, this is Argenum, I thought it was my fault. So I just kept going at it, and it would go away, and then it would come back, and it would go away, and then it would come back, and it would go. And finally, I legitimately got to the point where I was like, it's not compromising the performance. It still works. I'm just going to leave it alone. And sometimes he still clicks a little. I wonder if the full aluminum H-Tech VFD housing stopped the click. Well, the one that's in the... Ooh. I think there's more glop in that brush. Give me a reasonably clean one. There we go. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's all right. I think he's all pinned together. So, as I said, he's got no click, and he is... So there's it's the 2-speed. This is the Mias 2-speed. Still plastic motor plate. So there's definitely no click in that guy. So the notion that it could just be plastics, I think is the best one, because I've had the click with, also a little silver Sharpie. It's a little high vis. I've had the click with twins. I've had the click with regular VFDs. I have 8 Vanquish rigs and none of them click, but I do have bad hearing. Like I say, I don't have any that click constantly, but I feel like the odds are it's either going to click or it isn't. Check your front CVDs. The pins can work loose and hit the C-hubs. Oh, on the FJ, that is true. Was going to get a Coyote as my first 110, but I get a good deal of a TRX4 on clone on AliExpress Coyote next. Axial gearbox, not the LCXU, but the one before it makes so much noise. Oh, yeah, 10.3 slushy. Yeah. 10 Pro box, not quiet either. Mine will never click because I ain't got one. Gear fitment on the pins and the shafts plus gear ash. I'm going to look at it. Yeah. I mean, I've tried shimming. Poof. I've tried so many shims. I've tried shimming it until basically the shafts couldn't. There was no lash in them at all. Didn't help. My truck is not legal to go to Cali. I was going to go a while back, but found out I can't take it. Wow. Mia's 2-speed plus Fusion Pro could make a fun H10 Optic King of Hammers build. Yeah. Yeah. My tinnitus makes clicking obsolete. I get the clicks on my VRD when I'm creeping. Yeah. Swampers points out last week we lost a great friend of the Canyon Psycho 13 Garage. Yeah, right there. I didn't know. I saw somebody reposted from either Facebook or Instagram on the Discord. He was probably younger than me too, wasn't he? Element Enduro Builder's kit is $245 here. Is that a decent price? What is 245 pounds in US dollars? My bones clicked. Does that count? Oh! Would you like some body horror, everybody? So from some. Have I done this before? You like that? You probably don't like it. I bet you don't like it. I'll give you another one. You get a little pressure here and you go. Yeah, you like that? I did not like that, actually. Oh, I can get my knees. I probably won't. I don't have it. I get the thing where I can, like, push my knee to the side and it goes pow. 324. That's probably not good for your wrist. Austin, let me tell you something. This has been doing that for 40 years. Just all the time. I had a bone guy. I asked when I broke this hand. I asked the bone guy about the popping and clicking. I asked him, "Is that bad?" I went, "Is this bad?" And his exact words to me were, "If you go to do this and it doesn't pop, that's bad, because that's just the fluid. It's like a little sonic boom in the fluid. It's fine. It's just like popping knuckles. They say it's going to give you arthritis. It's not. It's absolutely fine. It's when you go to do that and it's just pain instead. That's called arthritis. Arthritis means you can't do that anymore. So I'm not too worried about it. But it's only that one. This one is just fine. Right wrist, okay. Left wrist. Who knows what I did to the left wrist early on in my life. I've successfully shimmed 6 out of my 7 VFDs, but what I'm referring to now is the gear rocking on the pin that sits that goes through the top shaft or any shaft. Shimming wouldn't help that. No, that's absolutely true. Can the non-2 trans be reliably used as a trail? Yeah, I don't see why not. It's fairly well sealed. I have so many joints that pop like that I quit counting. Being a teenage boy is hard on the wrists. That's also true. I have arthritis too, but just not in my wrists. Not yet. Do you have a really good mic, or are your hands just so huge the popping is like 5 times bigger than normal? Probably both. Probably both. Like, okay, I'm going to go all the way over here. So it's a pretty good pop. But, I mean, we can get right up. We can get right up in there. My shoulder pops out of the joint. Oh, thank God I don't. I did dislocate a collarbone in a mountain bike accident. I didn't break it. I dislocated it. So now, if you were to come and touch me on my body, my right collarbone protrudes out like about the size of a finger. Like it just sticks out. And I am continually afraid that it's going to pop out again, because when it popped out, my arm just went slack down on the side of my body. And then bowling one time, it popped out again. So that was awesome, but that was many years ago. Does anyone make different servo mounts like yours for the Amazon tricolor? I do. I've seen them. I have seen them. But I'm a Pringle. I got to keep popping. It's close to 1:20 for you now. What time do you want me to mail the list? Mail it to me give them another 10 minutes. Give them until 1:30. I just barfed. Mountain biking gave me a winged collarbone too. Twinsies. Hey! Did the nurse also tell you you would have been better off if it had broken? Because that's what she told me. She told me it might not hurt that much now, but it's going to hurt a lot later. And boy, was she right. I pulled a groin bowling, most embarrassing day of my adult life. Man. How? My left collarbone is permanently detached. Oh, the noises it makes. Oh, that's fun. You can just put it directly in an email and just send it in an email. Just laying still, my back will pop. Because I've got arthritis in my in SI joint, sacroiliac, both sides, arthritis in both sides from being tall. Sometimes when I lay down in bed first thing at night, my spine will, I do what I'm assuming is like decompressing because I'm not standing, because I stand so much, because I figured out why I stand so much, because it's less painful. My spine will just go like boom and like send a shock out through my whole body, and I will like I gasp when it happens. Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. What videos would you get the most out of? So my background video playlist helps as much as possible. The longer the video, the better. So any of the long ones, because that will help the channel-wide average engagement. The longer the average engagement, the more YouTube likes it. Side question. I want to get Endura tires. I was looking at the Mavericks, but heard they don't do well in the wet. Would any of the others do better than that? I get a fair bit of rain. The Mavericks did fine in the water here. What they won't like is wet that isn't water. They do have a very tight lug if what you're going in is at all muddy. Then I would not recommend those for that. You would probably better off with something like Klingons or Swamp Claws or S5 Kraken Claws, which anything S5 isn't going to like high temperatures. It's all compromises, right? If you get a tire that likes the wet better, it's not going to like the hot as much. So you got to decide. You got to decide where you want to be. Still picking gravel out of my knee from a bike crash in 1988. Awesome. Where's Hugo? This is 3 weeks without Hugo. My wife had a horrible ankle sprain 2 days before a sprint race, ran the whole race, then went to the doctor a week later. Doc told her it'd be better if they broke it so it could be cast. Yeah. Well, your wife is metal. Had an A2 flexor tendon pulley rupture in a finger bowling, usually an injury only rock climbers get. I guess the finger stayed in just a little bit too long. As I get older, I'm running out of positions I can lay in bed. Yeah, flat on my back is not it. Make a new playlist and title it The Long Ones. You know what? I can do that. I can actually do that. I'm listening with earbuds in today. I've had to cut the volume all the way up because my tinnitus is acting crazy today. Yeah. Threw on your TRX4 budget build video while getting a 2-hour root canal. Ugh, I feel for you. My last extraction was not pleasant. Everybody needs to stretch more. Oh, I agree. I just don't want to. Hey, ordered my H-Tech reverse rotation kit to fix my mullet. It's really nicely made. It really is. Revolt has a wet test on the Mavericks. Yes, that's true. Do you ever get a shooting pain right between your shoulder blades? It feels like it goes through your whole chest and you think you're having a heart attack? I'm going to have. S5 no bueno for California heat. Well, no tire really likes it above 100 degrees, basically. Above 90, things start to get squidgy. No tires are really happy with it. Oh, we got a 1 and a 1 and a 10. We're filling it up. I'm trying to keep up. How do we participate in the giveaway? If you have not yet, and you want to be on the wheel, you've got about another 6-7 minutes to just type a 1, just your name with a 1 next to it, and then MKRC will add it to the list that he's going to email me in about 10 minutes. Yeah, sandblasted with the 10, and he got half a line of saying your blue. I've seen. I got my son-in-law mullet for Christmas. Now I'm digging into the reverse rotation box for the transmission. It's really nice. WD-40 or PB Blaster for joint pain. I've honestly started to try to take nothing. When it gets real bad, well, okay, here's the backstory. I know I mentioned it in one before, but not everybody is here all the time. So, because of my current arthritic condition, I was taking an Aleve, a store brand knockoff Aleve, every day. And I took a store brand knockoff Aleve every morning for like 2 years. Turns out, not supposed to do that. If you read the fine print on the side of the bottle, it says you're not supposed to take it for something like more than 5 consecutive days. And I know I've told this story before. It took me back to Nate Bargatze. He has the story about his dad using nasal spray, using Afrin every day for 35 years. And they're like, never use this product for more than like 7 consecutive days. So I was in that exact thing where eating less inflammatory foods, nightshades, has helped me. Well, the best thing that I did was give up snacking, because apparently everything that I snacked was garbage. So I'm still not snacking. I don't take any no snacks. I eat meals, and I have dessert 2 days a week. I allow myself a sweet treat 2 days a week. Usually one on Tuesday, and then usually one on Sunday, because when me and the wife go out to our luncheon after recording, we'll get a dessert, and it's tough. It is tough to get a dessert because she can't have gluten, and it feels like every single day there's another thing I can't eat anymore. I ate a sandwich. I got really hungry. I had skipped lunch on a day, and I got really hungry after dinner at about 7 p.m. And I took a piece of bread and I put peanut butter on it, just peanut butter on it. And I folded it in half and I ate a piece of bread with peanut butter on it, and it gave me the sweats for like 3 hours. So is it the white bread? Is it the peanut butter? Lord above, what can't I have now? Why hath thou forsaken me? How's the liver holding up? Apparently it still works, but I started to feel poorly. So I haven't had an anti-inflammatory... Oh, well, stop eating ultra-processed foods, Mr. Hess says. My wife became gluten sensitive, and it's getting worse. She ate one egg roll while she was at lunch yesterday and didn't know that it was like wheat flour for the wrapper. Her stomach gets like a drum. So we don't eat fast food anymore, like at all. Why are we going to go get fast food and bring it home when the wife can't have fast food? So, you know what this means? This means I never have to go to a McDonald's again, which is fantastic. They were at the anime convention, the one a couple months ago. So it was just me and what I call the big one. Me and the big one were home. And I thought, oh, we haven't had Panda Express in a while. Oh my God. If you want to talk at length about the biggest mistakes of 2026, it was that I ate Panda Express. I would have been better off just laying on the ground and punching myself repeatedly in the stomach. I felt terrible. And I don't mean like I got the poops. I mean, I felt like I got poisoned. Spellword, I am 3 years into my 5th decade. Fast food makes you sick quick. That's true. When I was trucking, I was taking 1,000 milligrams of Advil every day for 10 years. Yeah, 2 years was enough. 2 years was enough for me. Like, the amount of things that I just know that I can never have again is yet when this finishes in about 2.5 hours from now, I'm going to go drink what is basically a caffeinated milkshake. Right? Never once, even for a moment, has it made me feel weird. So there's some, the processed thing definitely must come into play, because that's literally ice cream and espresso. And I don't drink coffee. I don't like it. It tastes terrible. I have a cup of tea every morning. Hey, American Man Beaches' birthday today. On the 13th. Oh, man, being born on the 13th is a trip. Because you'll get a Friday the 13th every now and again. Like today, birthday on a Friday the 13th. If you haven't eaten fast food in a while and then you randomly do, it gets purged right back out. Yeah. Dalek boy. No red sauce? I can't have red sauce. Are we all just one organism? Are we remotely 4 raccoons under a coat? I feel like we're all experiencing the same maladies. Only fast food I'll eat is Cane's. Yeah, Cane's doesn't bug me, and the wife hates it. So my wife is going to be gone. She's going out on a weekend trip with some friends for work, and me and the kids are going to eat terrible. We're going to go full trash panda all 3 days. Oh, Rudy, I'm telling you, we all yearn for 44. Oh my God. What I could do, damn acid reflux. Hey, who here, show of hands, don't put a 1, but a show of hands, who has to take an acid reducer every day? My stomach hates me and has hated me since I was a child. I buy the cheap ones. I will get violent acid reflux by eating anything. I was sitting at my desk, and I think this phrasing is appropriate, absolutely raw dogging a bag of baby carrots, which, as we know, are just ugly carrots ground down into a more pleasant appearance. And the acid reflux that welled up in me was unbelievable. Like, I felt like I had eaten fire. And after that, I ordered whatever it is, Tagamet, Zantac, whatever the generic one. Why would you do that to baby carrots? Not dip them in something? Because here's what happens. You get old and your brain starts to liquefy, right? And you start reading the backs of things. And you shouldn't. Like, just don't look at the information. So you read the back of it and you're going, are you telling me that if I eat this whole bag of baby carrots, it is less calories than like the little plastic 2-ounce container of ranch? Well, then I'll just eat a bunch of the carrots. And then my body is like, no, you won't. No, you absolutely will not. Sometimes acid reflux feels like the blood from the Alien movies. I just thought it was kind of normal, not smooth brain, aerodynamic brain. To help quiet my acid reflux, I quit drinking soda and black tea, replacing it with water. 90% of my acid reflux problems went away. Give it another 5 years. I already forgot. I said Soencur? I said I was going to remember, and then I didn't. I drink water. On a day like today, I will drink 4 of these. I will drink 1 gallon of water on an average day with no activity. I drink almost nothing but water. On a typical day, I have a cup of hot black tea, milk and sugar, first thing in the morning. It gets me out of bed, and then it's just water. The rest of the day, all I drink is water. If I go to a restaurant, I drink water. Anywhere I go, I drink water. They ask me, what would you like to drink, sir? And I say, water. Oh, I don't overdrink. At least I don't think I do. But I've come to the conclusion, and this helped me, is that I can't stop it. It's how it is. This, as they say, is your life now, and this is my life now. So I'm gonna have reflux, right? Apologies if I go quiet. Painkillers kicking in, so good luck to all on the giveaway if I miss it. Oh yeah, we'll go with like 2. We'll go with 2. I drink about 1 gallon a day, and some days the acid reflux is super bad. I used to think that it was triggered by like eating something specific, because we all know I've got diverticulitis. I've had that. I was diagnosed with that when I was 40. So I haven't had red sauce, orange juice, anything high acid, beans. I can never have beans again. And I thought it was going to be stuff like candy. Oh, God, did I love a Dr. Pepper and a Snicker bar? Amazing. Amazing. We're coming up on 15 years since I've had it. And I'll never have it again. Because I do try to tempt fate every now and again. I try to go, maybe he's okay. Maybe I'm cured. And then I'll have 1 bite of a burrito with beans in it, and hold on to your horse, because we're in for a ride. Oh, there's 3 screws in there. I was like, why is this not coming out? It's not surprising that this thing sounds and works the way that it does. I think it's got a little bit too much of Pirates Cove grit in it. I lived through 2 gallbladder attacks before getting it removed. Now I live with those consequences. Ugh. No beans? Yeah. I get this. My kid can eat beans, and they'll eat beans right in front of me. That hurts. I didn't read the label. I just grabbed the thing, and I unwrapped it, and I took a bite. And I knew instantly that I had taken the wrong one, because it tasted so good. It tasted so good because I hadn't had beans. It'd been so long since I'd had beans that bite might have had just the essence of beans. Oh, and it was amazing. Yeah, beans. I don't miss the candy, especially once I found out that a Milky Way is just a Snickers with no peanuts in it. I was like, you know what? No peanuts maybe isn't that bad. Oh, gritty. It's very gritty. Still feels all right. But you know what? We're here. We're here. We might as well do the dang thing. So your doctor didn't tell you what caused it? The diverticulitis? She was a tiny lady. She came up to like chest high. She's very small. And she threw my x-ray film up on the thing, and you could see my intestine, and it's all full of little white dots. And I said, it's diverticulitis, isn't it? And she went, it is. And I said, I'm never getting rid of it, am I? And she said, no, you're not. And apparently, over a long enough time frame, we all get it. We'll all have diverticulitis, unless we die young. But it tends to hit you when you're older. Chest high, that means normal size. Yeah, she seemed short. I think she was like 5 foot and change. I'd give her that. My dentist was that short too. Wait, are people not actually that short? It's just me? She lied? Bad diet choices? Nah, That was, brother, that was 13 years ago. The same stuff that I couldn't eat then, I can't eat now. They gave me the list. I had to go on a FODMAP diet for like a couple weeks. That sucks. It's not great. I do not recommend. Had 2 feet of his colon removed. Now he wears a bag. Yeah. Mr. Cox, I am, and as she mentioned this as well. She said that the silver lining of it is, the upside of it is, I'm what they call a top ender, meaning if I eat something that my diverticulitis and my body by extension disagree with, I just throw up a lot because my body thinks it's being poisoned. So I will throw up repeatedly. We have definitely been getting some drive shaft to motor plate little bites there. That is really snaggy. Probably the pin, probably the drive shaft pin. So we might want to hit that with a little bit of a Dremel. Look at that one. It actually curled over a chunk of the aluminum. So I don't have to. I'm not much at risk of the intestine stuff. It doesn't get that far. Yeah, Stunon. Yeah, small pockets. Imagine that your intestine is a hallway, and on the sides of the hallway are little closets with no doors. And the closets are completely packed full of stuff, like a hoarder would. And it's bad stuff in there. And then when you eat something, it'll tumble down the hallway, and it'll grab some of the stuff, and it'll pull it out into the hallway, and then your body will go, no! And then you just throw, either you'll poop a lot, or you'll throw up a lot. And I'm the throw up guy. For better or worse. You don't get a choice. People are just one big long donut. Yeah, we're just a tube. Remember the internet was so obsessed with how many holes are in a straw? Right? I mean, technically, a straw is a hole. So the answer is just one. But a straw is also a tube. So a tube has a hole at each end. Because if you put your thumb over one end of a straw, there's still a hole in this end. So you can't say that a straw is just one hole. But it also is just one hole. If you think of the universe as the outside, a straw is just a hole. It's an infinite number of holes. So, like a tire. Like, if somebody says that a straw, yeah, are you a straw? Yes. Does this tire have one hole in it or 2 holes in it? Right? That would be the thing. But then if we put half of a wheel in it, it still has a hole in this side. So yeah, we're just a tube. Yeah, if you sit down or stand up, you can approach this in whatever position you enjoy. If you think about it, look at a straw. Hole on one end, hole on the other, just one hole. Now think about you, and you have the hole where food goes in, and the hole where food comes out. You're just a straw. You get all crinkly and wrinkly in the middle, but you're a meat tube. Yeah. Probably just enough grit in there. How many grooves on the average 33 and a third 12-inch record? Somebody knows. One long, flexible straw. That's humans. Sum up humans for the aliens. One long, flexible straw. Don't tell AI we're straws, otherwise it will use us as a straw. I wouldn't put it past him. Is he going to tell us how many grooves are on a record? Because I don't know. Oh, there's a spot to push it out. We're going to go all the way. We're going to do it. Drill a hole in a very thick plate, 1 hole. Grind plate down around the hole. At what point does it become 2 holes? We're we're the worst Socrates that could ever be. Cold fashion is leaving to do a workout and putting it all at risk. Oh yeah, 1 groove. Huh. So it's a trick. I get it. That is 1 groove, isn't it? Kind of curious as to what the wear pattern in here would look like. That shouldn't be too loud. Just needed to get the grit and the grime out of there. Yeah, Socrates was a Brazilian football player. A washer has 1 hole, and a straw is a long washer, so yeah. Well, I guess, a straw is a plastic bushing, kind of. If you cover a hole at both ends, is it still a hole in the middle? Then it's a cylinder then, right? Look at that guy. Got a little bit of, I think I've used dig on this a couple times. Yeah, these are definitely hardened, though. Not just hardened. I will state the points on the little sliding dog are sharp. These are real sharp. How about on this end? It's got a little bit of wobble to it. Nope. It has a lot of bit of wobble to it. But all the parts are still intact. Still has its little bushing. Still has its little O-ring. I think that's a .07. Or is it an 09? I think it's an 07. I think I have one. I had to order the Horus D. I know it's a weird one. Not that. That's way too big. Wonder how long that came loose. So that could have been impacting the engagement and disengagement. Yeah, it's a .9. The problem with the .9 is it's so small that it feels stripped out all the time. At least I'm getting something done. Jeez. A straw could be a vast number of very shallow holes stacked beside each other. Anyone have a VFD dig, stop engaging solidly, and start to slip when climbing? That's usually endpoints. The endpoint on the servo, it's not pulling it far enough, because once that dig is engaged, it's not coming out, because you've got this side and this side. So this is the 4-wheel drive side. Once that is in there, it has to move back that full 3+ millimeters to disengage. Once it's in there, it's not disengaging. And it's the same exact mechanism in the back. It's 6 into 3. So once that's engaged in there, it's not disengaging. Unless the servo is just barely getting it in. And setting it on a VFD is a lot harder because you can't look in there. On this, you can look down through the sand slot and you can see if it's actually fully engaging. Let's see what she looks like. So I use the blue stuff in here, and it's great. Bearings are still good. So I think it was a combination of a loose screw and a little bit of just grit in the housing. But I'm sticking to dig, even though I don't use it that much. I'm gonna keep using it. I'm gonna keep not using it. I don't know why I laughed so hard at sand slot. Yeah, it definitely doesn't take sand into account because it was like, oh no, come on in, sir. Let's see what color it is. Ooh. Hey, Mr. Hurley, what color is it? I mean, he's definitely going to say that's purple. Are you coming up north for Scale Challenge West? Info should be announced next week. Well, I can think of any number of excuses not to, but I think the number one that I'll use is gas is supposed to hit $8 a gallon. Now, then I would ask additional questions. What is it? Where is it? And what time of year is it? Because when they say west, that could mean anything. Like, the west is a lot. The temperature's actually going down in here. It's gone down almost 2 degrees since we started. Absolutely not complaining. I'm here for it. Oh yeah, I mean it's not going to hit $8 in other places. It's only going to do that here. It's over $5 now. I bought gas at the beginning of the month and it was $3.39, and I bought gas yesterday and it was $4.79. So it went up $1.40 in 2 weeks. Hosted by Vanquish at Cisco Grove in Northern California, about an hour and a half up I-80 from Sacramento. So above Sacramento. What's a good body for a 10.3? I don't know. What body do you like? Will Vanquish send out seals for a recently bought optic? You can ask him. I've been meaning to, because I need to get like a bunch of rebuild kits, and then I just never do it. That's on me though. I should, but I don't, because I get distracted by stuff like this. We tolerate it because of the weather, right? Right? Everything is Gavin Newsom's fault. I can't wait until he runs for president. Genuinely looking forward to it. Highest gas taxes in the nation, baby. The most cars in the nation, baby. The highest registration costs. All of it. We had 200, then all the non-members left when they weren't included in the giveaway. It just keeps going up and down. I just grabbed 3 sets of 575 rock bumps at the LHS, $30 a pair. Hey. All right. So we should be able to put this thing back together. I never put any grease in the dig section. I run them dry, except inside like a VFD. Cali Gas is still prepared to the fuel and rip off Britain. Yeah, I remember even on Top Gear, even in years past, they'd be buying gas, and it would be the price we're paying here, but they were paying that per liter, paying what we were paying per gallon. Maybe something a little bit scale where you can install lights. So you don't want to go full hard body. You just want something where you can put some gubbins on it. So not J Concepts. And I'm going to go ahead and guess. You know what I didn't do? I didn't grind that off. That really needs to be done. That thing is messed up. Then we're going to see if we can put it back in without it falling apart. I'm going to check. He said he was sending the email. I'm going to check my email. 389 in Florida, Georgia. See, that's a lot. In Florida, it was $80 for registration no matter what. And in Colorado, it's based on the value of the vehicle. So I was paying $300 a year for registration on my 21 Impreza. Yeah, first year on the Subaru was like $625. And then it goes down every year. It's based off of 2% of 10%. It's some weird, there's a formula how they determine what it is in the first year. And it goes down every year. What's spur opinion on that with portals? Oh, do you mean this? On this, you're asking? He's running an 1800, 36, 25, 18. Oh, wait. He's running a 1900. It is a 52. And what I'm going to guess is about a 15, a 14 or a 15. It's probably a 14. Yeah, the Cliffhanger comes with buckets. If you wanted tucked. Britain was still black and white when it was $3.89 a gallon. $625 for new Subaru. That's don't come to Washington. 2018 Civic was $1,200 when new and down to $850 a year now. You guys, I'm telling you, a lot of places are trying to out California. They're trying to do pull a full hold my beer. Also, you notice that I put all of this back together, and no, you didn't. All the pieces for the four-wheel drive side are still sitting on the bench, so this dig would not have worked very well at all. It doesn't take much to distract me. We'll say that as a fact. Yeah, I feel like this hex wrench doesn't do anything. The last one, I drilled it out. I put a pin through it. The way Vanquish does. That is a point in the positive column of the Hertz V2s. Any way to keep mud and dirt out of the dig? Not really. You would have to, like, you can see where the linkage goes through. Like, some way you'd have to, like, build a box that goes over it with a little rubber boot on the top that the arm could go back and forth. But this is how all the Hertz V2s are. I wish, I guess, is the correct answer. I wish. Okay, now let me grind this. Wait, no, email. See? Got to do things in an order. Zen business. Okay. This might be the best thing ever. Copy. Wheel of names. Oh, 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 it's so good. And because I can sort by alphabetical order, I can just delete all the doubles. So 1, 2, 3. He did really good. Oh, RGRC 6521 is on here 3 times. And then Robert L 5338 is on here twice. Shaker MT twice. Custom RC's twice. Stu Nod 3 times. Ooh, shame. Shame them. Shame them for typing a 1 more than once. All right, so it says 86. According to the Dilly, there's 86. Let me go to here. Shame, 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 shame. So we can do our usual thing. Did Salty Bob just type a 1 now? Guys. No, Robert, you should still be on there. Yeah, Robert L. 53 right there. I'm on there 2 times. RC Maniac. So he is. Whoop. Okay, I'm gonna try something. Ah. Oh. Okay, so I'm trying to copy and paste from the chat, but it keeps moving. And it's it's not great. Keeps moving. All right, I'm adding a couple more people. Oh yeah, this is terrible when I have to do it. Oh my God, if I had had to do this for the whole thing, this would have taken forever. Yeah, Dave Franco, you are on there. Michael. If they're late, that's on them. All right, okay. So the last one I'm going to add, because I don't see him, is this one. All right, we are closed. We are closed. All right. 90 on the board. I just added Michael Siatkovsky and like people were already sending him names at like 12 o'clock. So like he's been getting names for 2 hours. So I gotta stop it somewhere. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody shout out. Ugh. Everybody shout out that guy. Everybody shout out MKRC for he has been a very busy straw today. Yeah, if I had to do this, I wouldn't have gotten anything done. Period. Yeah, Mr. Hurley, you're definitely on there. Shout out to that guy. There are 91 on the wheel, which is honestly right around the same. Be sure Anna is on it. Yep. Yep. MKRC is a real one. All right, this is about the same amount of people that were on it last time. Which is wild, but we know everyone is here, and a bunch of people just like the concurrent viewers updates. I don't know how often the update goes. I thought I saw Hunk of Love 75 on here. Yep. Yes, Vegas Steve, you're right at the top. But we know everybody's here. Yeah, see, Doran is not on there. All right. I'll break my own rule and I'll add one more because we can just slot it right in here because it goes right here. Are you happy? Are you all happy now? All right. All right. We're going to spin it. And don't forget, for whatever foolhardy reason, I'm going to do this. We're going to try to do it monthly. After I get this Gearbox put in, we're going to talk a little bit about the build for next month. Yeah. So it's too late to ask if you're on there. If you're on there, you're on there. And you should have been on there. And the system is definitely more, this is definitely smoothed out for me. This was a lot less work for me. Am I on there? No. It needs to go. That's the thing. It needs to go. So we're gonna do the thing. I don't think it matters. I think it's all pretty random, and away we go. So we should only have to do this once. No way. Well, we know he's here. All we need to know is, does he want it? So we know that guy. He can't come to California. Cool. Also rigged. What was the giveaway again? He says. So the giveaway is this. The Flex King. If you're into the Flex, the Flex King. Where is he? We never know where he is. Agree, it's rigged. He does not know what the giveaway is. Yeah, I think he showed off. I think he showed up after we brought it out. It is RTR as well. It's full RTR. Comes with a Radiolink RC4. So everything except batteries. No, he's still here. He shows up as Shaker MT Harry. I think he has two. Accounts. MKRC says, just send it to me and I'll make sure he gets it. He can come to Arkansas. He probably goes through Arkansas. Oh, Shaker MT is definitely green, but I don't know about Shaker MT Harry. Because, yeah, see, there you go. He is one of the, he's definitely in the first 5 people that got channel memberships. He's been a channel member forever and has been responsible for, I think it is almost poetic for him to get one of the founder donators, one of the OG crew. Absolutely. I think it's probably it feels like a circle, because Shaker MT is responsible. Remember way back? Remember when we gave away the Blazer? Remember when we gave it to Mr. Woodham and it went down to Georgia? Shaker bought that FCX10 specifically so that I could do a test on it and give it away. So he is one of the absolute OG 404s, like here since the very, very beginning. So it'll be going. Oh, Shaker, you do send me an address, because I never know if it's going to like Arizona or if it's going to Montana. I never know where it's going. So just send shoot me an email, and I will get it boxed up. I saved some boxes. I have a perfect U-line, the same exact box that I shipped Chuckles to South Africa in, and UPS stuck me for an extra $20 because they said that I didn't get the dimensions correctly. Oh, and by the way, come here, box. So, UPS sent me an email that said that they had to adjust pricing because they said, a dimensional adjustment or something like that. I need to get the A-Main shipping label off of here so I don't wildly dox myself. So this is literally the exact same box that I shipped to South Africa. This is a U-line box, which is what A-Main uses. They use good boxes down there. So I got a thing where they said, we're going to have to charge you an extra $20. And if you'll notice, they print the size of the box on the box. UPS can suck a fat one. I'm not shipping anything UPS unless I can absolutely. Yeah, they have special rulers. They got those metric rulers, and they don't know what these numbers mean. The damn box is called a number 2010-6, and it's 20 by 10 by 6. Like, UPS, you. Ooh. I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about it at all. Shaker needs to carry a smart car on the back of his truck so he can drive to the canyon. Yeah, just park it in Arizona. Disassemble it, he gets a kit build. It's probably going to have to taken apart a little bit because it's so wide that even with the tires off, I think I work for UPS, put this towards my pension. I've never, I was so excited because when I did the international shipping to ship as far away as you can ship, it is literally on that halfway around the planet thing. where the map flips back and forth, so I'm like halfway around the world. I was so excited that UPS was the cheapest until they weren't. It would have been $9 cheaper if I'd sent it postal after they stuck me for $20. Because I know that on that distance, it's all dimensional weight. I don't have a camera for this. And I just put a brand new grinding wheel on my other one, and I don't want to mess it up by clogging it up with cheap Chinese aluminum. So I'm going to change some tools. Maybe we should do a giveaway with the SEX6. So you've cooled off on the SEX6 that much. Well, I mean, it has been. How long has it been here? How long has it been here? Some more UPS packaging was lovely, by the way. Did I shove a bunch of foams in the box that went to South Africa? I can't remember. They all kind of blur together. All right. Okay, fixed it. Oh, by the way, hey, Benjamin with a 20. Oh, the sawtooth is going to be so sharp today. Oh. Hold on. I have to move in increments. Because otherwise I'm going to forget what I'm doing. I've already forgotten what I'm doing. What am I talking about? What are we even doing? I've already put that gearbox together half wrong twice. Okay, so all of the usual stuff. These were contributed by a local. I've done these before. The Rox Tire Super Swamper with the $sign. They are what they are. If you have trailing stuff that you do, add my name to the wheel. I see what you did. You know what? I mean, I could put it on there now. So that's a question. Are we going to do? Are we ever like for every giveaway? Are we going to go fresh wheel? Is that how we're going to do? Are we going to do fresh wheel? Are we going to pick it up? Like we shouldn't make. I mean, MKRC did a good job, but we shouldn't make him do it next time, right? That would be messed up, right? And then Thomas Moore with a 5 more. I can already tell you guys right now that even when the next roll-off comes, and the next roll-off is going to be a big one, we are at the most channel members that the channel's ever had. Like, we've only just barely cracked 600 before. We have to be around 650. Well, MKRC says he volunteers to be the wheel intern. He's the intern of the wheel. If he wants to be intern of the wheel, it's going to be fresh wheel every week. Also, the most channel debt the channel has ever had. Well, I mean, we giving stuff away. Extreme mud terrain. These are fake KM3s. Those are fake KM3s. And then these are the exact same thing. And then these are clone KM3s. So these have all the poorly done Pro Line, and it even has the Pro Line number on them. Realistically, the grip between those and those is going to be about the same. Zimba with the 20. Didn't Zimba already contribute some? Is that a double? Is he double dipping again? Throwing down another 20? You guys going to get me up to you guys are going to get me way up there. Some favorites. The old Tokyo Speeps. This is going to be very sawtoothies. the old Tokyo Speeps. None of these tires are remarkably good, but they're also not terrible. And again, I simply do not have the room. These are Class 1 fake Hyrax. The rubber is incredibly hard, but I don't know. Maybe you've got like one of those 14th scale, like little off-road buggy things. Those would be great. Those would be great. And then this is the one where people are going to fight over it. I had offered to give someone, if you're the guy that said you would take the scalers and then just never got back to me about it, they're still here. They're still here. Yeah, like if a guy's building a 6x, an IJ 6x, and he doesn't need the best tires in the world, there's 8 of these. You can have all 8 of them. So I've got the Class 1 scalers, and I said that a guy could get them, but then he just didn't. So Truckin' Matt has conditionally opted for these because he's putting together and they'd be great. They'd look great on there. And then Ninjans. Basically, if you want one set of tires and you are in the United States of America, $10 will pretty much ship you a set of tires. So it's not an issue. I don't know where Truckin' Matt is, but $10 might get him. Like they all have foams, so I can ship them foams. So Ninja still wants the scalers, so I can send them to him. And then I have, these are real. These are OT6. No. Yeah, email me. Yeah. Email me now. Yeah. Let's do the SEX6 as a giveaway, and I still can't wait to see the HCX7 live. So it's going to be really hot, so I'm going to be trapped in here doing inside the shop stuff. It is so close to complete, and I'm speaking, of course, about the HC6. It is like 80% done. I just need to do some cutting inside the cab to clear the 2-speed servo. Who said they would take the, somebody said they would take them. Eddie Matthews says he'll take the Class 1 OT6. These did great. I will never run these on anything. I bought them because they were cheap, and I wanted to test them because I got to catch them all. And knowing the whole time, I was like, I only do rock crawling stuff with, I only do Class 1.5 stuff. Like, I'm not going to build anything that goes in mud that has tires this small. I'm holding on to the gold the gold compound C2s. I like those. Those might go on one of the rigs in the trail fleet. But I don't, if they're here, they're usually stacked at the end of the bench. I don't have a use for them. Are there any other Class 1s there? Nope. The rock hard ones and the Clerms, well, they're real KLRMs. And everything else is Class 2 right now. My Class 1 drawer is filling up. Okay. There will probably be a couple of sets of Class 1s that I'll be getting rid of over the next, say, 2 months or so. Because I'm definitely ordering, as the absolute moment they're available, I'm ordering the new J Concepts tires. The 425 rock bumps and the 425 Boss. And I'm talking about ordering like 2 or 3 sets of each. I'm going to order like $150 worth of those because, come on, what is the highest scoring currently available tire right now? It's this one. And the solitary drawback to this tire is this. It's massive. Is PayPal the only payment option you'll accept? It's the only thing I've got. I don't have any other. I don't have any other payment processing options. So yeah, if you want me to do the SCX6 for Operation 11 Charlie, I can absolutely do that. That thing is really nice though. Like that's crazy. And the Boss look really cool. 525 rock bumps would be crazy as well. Geologic infections in all sizes while they're at it. But if Shaker MT is down, you know, I don't cajole. Added the new J Concepts tires a few hours ago. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I don't get paid. Today is the 13th, which means next Friday is the 20th. Payday from Google is the 21st, which means I won't get paid until the 23rd. No, the SCX6 does not have a video. It's been sitting up on a shelf. Should I do Chanquish HD44s or H44s? Whichever 44 axle you go with, just make sure that it has normal C hubs. That it has the C hub that goes like this. So the C hub is in here and the knuckle goes over it like that. Not the one that goes like this. Because if it's the one that goes like that, you can't move them. What's the geologic infection? That's what we call these, because J Concepts decided to name them rock bumps, which is the worst, hands down. I have genuinely thought about making a tier list for tires, and it only applies to tires that don't have a real world equivalent, like Canyon Trail. It's a good name. That's a good name. Injora Mavericks. It's a pretty good name. Rock bumps, head and shoulders above them all, the worst named tire maybe ever. They need to make it in a class 2 size so that you can put rock bumps on your Fordyce. Maybe take the SCX6 on a trail run so people can see it. Yeah. Like I'm telling you, if you're committed to doing it for Operation 11 Charlie, then I will get it all set up. You still want me to put the stuff in it? The servo and everything, do all the stuff. Like if you want me to do that, then yeah, absolutely. What tire size do you classify as class 1.5? 4.25 and smaller. Somebody needs to make a Ford Maverick body and put on Endura Mavericks. Yeah, the double Maverick. Oh, I'm gonna open a tab over here. Well, see, the thing is, we know what they were doing. They were doing because they have a famous tire called Goosebumps. So they were going for that. But Goosebumps are a thing. Rock bumps are not a thing. So here's the first one. This is the J Concepts Boss. They're all in that like 42 millimeters wide, 4 1/4, because they're supposed to be for like mini class. But who cares? So I'm ordering those, and there they are on A-Main for $27.75, and then rock bumps. Oh man, jeez. Oh, I want to order about $250 worth. Guys, do you have any idea how much money I have put on my PayPal buyer credit in the past 2 months? This is problematic. This is problematic. Rock bump sounds like a slang for an STD. Yeah, 100% it does. I put the Coyote Grande on a Desert Sea Coyote, the Coyote Coyote. Can we call the chicken skin? Were those the Injora shocks on Red Rider? Though, Chuck, the one that went to Chuck Hurley? No, those were not very good chavs. My set of DRX are installed on the Pickle right now, and they will get their first run on Tuesday. Don't forget the reactor. Well, here's the thing about the reactor. That's already paid for, so that's sunk cost. So I don't even notice that that happened. But so wait. These are the big ones, so the hubs aren't installed. 2.6, 3.8. Because you knew I wasn't going to be able to not order the reactor. And I was talking to Sputter on the Discord, and he asked me what tire I was going to go with for my reactor. And I said, I don't know, but you know me, probably whatever's cheap. And I went on A-Main, and for some reason, J Concepts, I do like the part where it says Terror Tire, J Concepts Renegades in 223.8, the tires were $16.99 a pair, and the wheels were $14.99 a pair. So I spent $68.38 out the door for a set of 4. And if you've ever looked up monster truck tires, they are not inexpensive. The tires I was originally looking at, Sputter is looking at Golden Years. Golden Years are like $41.25 a pair for the tires. And then you're usually looking at about $30 a pair for the wheels. So I was oh, these should do great. I was fully anticipating at least $150 for wheels and tires. And then I dug through my drawers. Not those drawers. And my reactor is getting dual momentum V216 turns. Oh, yeah. And I imagine that, yeah, they would side hill very well. Does that mean Wolverine has to test them? He should. So I already have a body. It came with a free servo. I got wheels and tires for $68. I already had the 880 ESC. Like I'm doing good. I thought I was going to end up spending a bunch of money. Turns out I saved money by buying that reactor, which I hope they'll be like, oh, we're ready to ship it. What do you use for threading stainless steel, and do you have any tips? I just use conventional dies, and it's problematic. Stainless steel is a nightmare. Stainless steel is mean. I don't like it. When I have to do it, I go, ugh. And honestly, it often sends me to the internet where I buy links and lazy out. I only try to make a link if I absolutely can't get it. I use what I've had, a long-running woodworker's philosophy, which is we could build everything. You know, woodworkers, we feel like we could build everything. But we don't, because if we can buy it, why would we build it? So let me go over to... So before this start... Wait while I go handheld. So before this started today, I had a few spare minutes, and I said to myself, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do something that we'd been planning on doing, but haven't done because it's bugged me. The spot where the rulers live has needed fixed for like 5 years. So I decided to do it this morning when I had about 50 minutes. And now you can see the loofies that aren't usually in frame. So I cut the front part off of the workbench right here. And that slot does go through. And I have to do all the finish work. I have to do all the finish work on this. But now, when stuff rolls off the bench, hey. Yeah, the googly eyes always look like they've seen something. He's like, seen something. There's that. Oh, no. What's wrong with this guy? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. You have a dedicated spot just for rulers? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. They live right here. And because the building isn't fully level, stuff tends to roll that way. Everything here rolls south. It rolls north to south. Yeah, Henry, I was sitting here thinking, do I have the right router bit? Do I have a piece? And then I remembered you can get quarter round, but not rounded this way, rounded this way. So you can get the concave quarter round. I'm going to get a piece of, there's a big hair in my drawer. I'm going to get a piece of that quarter round and glue it right in the bottom down here so that I can get stuff out easier. It'll be good. And I went full woodworker and I was going to do it myself. And then I realized, you know what? They sell that. So I'm just going to buy it. Oh, that's the tires that are out. There's more and it gets worse. It gets way worse. So much worse. That's why we're continually giving tires away. Now, up on this rack, there are at least, there are at least 4 sets of, like, the Twins tires are usually up there, and Baseline's tires are currently up there. And so are Wolverine's regular tires, because all of the regular rigs, the test rigs, their tires come off all the time. Oh, the Lizard Fetus? Miata Commuter recommended that I hold on to them because they made me aware that the tires that come on the BRX-02 are horrible. So they said that the Lizard Fetus would definitely be an improvement. So I will, my plan moving forward is this. Make a little wooden insert for them so that I can put them on something that rotates so that I can sand off all the stuff on the sides. It just makes smooth sidewalls. Just buy a piece of veneer, cut its size, and glue it in there. Yeah, like I say, I think I'm just going to get, I only need it on one side. I don't need it on the high side. I only need it on the downside. I'm just going to get that coved and then glue it in, and that way it'll be, I won't have to use 2 hands to get a ruler out. It'll be great. If I ordered some tabs that you gave in the tech question, and I have taps that you gave in the tech question, and I have flat rails, should I hand thread or just toss them in my drill and zip through both sets of them together? If you bought these taps, if this is the style of tap that you bought, these are basically machine taps. So I have never tapped these by hand. I only use these for in this guy right here. I only power tap them. And when I do chassis rails, I bolt both rails together, and then drill them all together and then tap them. Do you need a membership to be in the drawing? Yes. So you know what? I mean, as you know, Toyota guy shouldn't have called me deceptive or deceitful or whatever he called me. And then he talked a bunch of let's just call it what it is, shit, to the members of the channel and the people of the channel. Oh, you're just deflecting, bro. But on the one hand, there is truth and there's a kernel of truth in even the ramblings of a jerkbag. So now I will now be conscious more moving forward that instead of saying like February giveaway, it'll say members giveaway. So we'll do it like that. But his approach, not great. Zimba asked about these. I was mounting them while the opening video was running. Good grief, guys. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, so can we zoom in on it so you can see it? Yeah, there they are. So we've got the old Proline OE. There's the OE on there. These are the softest. These are the softest tires that say Proline on the side that I have ever felt. There is every chance these are going to be like the best performing swampers we've ever seen. They're going to be real tough on the side hill. Like if you blindfolded me and put this in my hands and told me to guess what it was, and then told me it was Proline, I absolutely would not believe it. These are the included foams. I'm worried that, well, baseline is light. Baseline is fairly light. I'm worried that, like, on that SR5, these have to be way too soft. And that's the thing. I need to think of another name. Like, this isn't really a quick view. If I review, which I'm going to, it's on the whiteboard, any of the OE series tires from Proline, you can't buy these. The only way to get these is to buy the $500 SR5. No, if Yoda Guy is here, we haven't seen him. He just complained in the comments on a video. And you know, of flies with honey, flies with vinegar, that sort of a thing. The way that he complained about it, I did not like. It's been so long, I don't even remember what all I had. You've got I think it's an NSDRC, like the big crazy, like RS2500 servo to go in it. And you had already put bead locks on it. And it's got aftermarket tires all the way around on it. Well, the SR5 is worth it then. Well, here's the thing. The sticky Trepador, the OE Trepador that came on the Coyote, is the most rock crawling capable Trepador. But the Trepador is not a good rock crawling tire based on it's like 5.1 inches tall. You said he was trolling for freebies? Yeah, he says he searches YouTube looking for giveaways. Yes, the part listing for those OE tires uses the regular Proline part number and was the same for the Pro X, the OE Pro X that come on the four-wheel steer Capra, and the OE Trepadors that come on the Coyote. It is not G8. It is not Predator. They are thinner. The rubber is more pliable. It is stickier. Well, you know, here's how I can tell you that it's. I can tell you for an absolute fact that this is not Predator, because I can do this and not throw up on the bench. As I said before, Proline Predator, fresh out of the bag, smell like a dog, ate a bunch of plastic, and then pooped it into a bag, and then Proline sealed up the bag, and then you opened it several months later and the smell came out. That's what Predator smells like. Those smell just like any other tire. That is for the replacement for the OE tires. When I had looked up the Trepador, the Trepador G8 and the Trepidor OE were the same number. So these are 1197. So if you look up Proline 1197, what comes out? Oh, it does have custom links. Oh no, these are not gonna Starsky. Like this, if I pinch it up past the foam, burnt old diff fluid. Yeah, they're terrible. Predator, it's not even close. They smell so bad. I mean, there are other tires out there that have a little bit, they've got a little bit of their own funk. Proline is in full hold my beer mode. When you go to the hobby shop, they'll have replacement tires. G8 Treps are 10227. Oh, I gave my OE Treps are gone now. I don't so I can't look at those. Oh, so what is a G8 Swamper? I probably said Treps. What I meant was Swamper. I don't know which holes I have. Yeah, they're definitely high VOCs in the Predator. If I lived in the Pacific Northwest, I might feel different about Predator, but I can't use it around here. Did we talk about the 10.3 Builder's Kit? Yeah? Yes. Good deal, not great deal. It has going for it, you know. What it has going for it is this. That's an LCXU. That LCXU comes with a dig model, with a dig module, and it has AR-45 straights, which are objectively superior to the AR-45P. But the rest of it is just a Coyote. There's no premium stuff there. Okay, those threads ran great. And when I went to put that screw in, it was not happy. Circular file. Oh, so. Am I getting one? Honestly, probably not. The only way I would buy one is if we were going to build a giveaway rig out of it. I already have a Coyote. Yeah, just a Coyote isn't a bad thing, right? But like what I keep running over in my head is the Coyote out of the box is strong. It's good. So dig and straights. Do I wish the Coyote had straights on it? Yes. Now, if somebody tells me they've already gotten a kit, they've already gotten a builder's kit in their hands, if it comes with the pieces to clipless mount a body, bonus column. If it doesn't, the shocks, negatives column. So like, is it worth it to build the kit, build a version of whatever the newest RTR is for cheaper than the RTR price? Never underestimate a Coyote wearing a top hat. And I'm not out there looking to build a lot of C-channel rigs. I have a lot of them. Did you see the new deluxe dig unit? Are you getting one of those? I can say that I'm pretty certainly not getting one of those, because the deluxe dig unit is $100, and it is designed to fit, I don't know which way this is supposed to rotate, like that. It is designed to fit on a gearbox that costs $135, And then it is designed specifically to work with the Reef's sub 49 servo, and that servo costs $59. So that gearbox and that dig unit and that servo cost more than a 10.3 builder's kit. That's a premium. And while we're at it, I don't know if anybody's noticed, I just rebuilt a dig. Like, I cleaned it out and I cleaned this gearbox and it should work now. The gearbox in my hands right here costs $60 for the whole thing. $100 dig modules is, let's say, aggressive. And they know what they're doing. They know that they're aiming at a market. They have a market that they're aiming for. And that market is people who routinely build rigs that cost $2,000. Yeah, Deluxe Dig Unit is half the cost of a J-Concepts reactor. It is super premium. Now, I've watched a video of not that one, but of the one that EXO has. I believe the Kaido body mounts are included. That'd be really cool if it was. Have you seen the other really expensive dig? The EXO one. The EXO one has a horn that comes off the servo with a shaft on it, and that shaft goes right into the dig slider. I don't know how I feel about that. Because that means that if you're in two-wheel drive, if you're in four-wheel drive, the servo is effectively under load all the time, because it has to hold it in. So it's under some degree of load. When it's in dig, that servo is definitely under load. Now, it coming directly off the servo and not using an arm, that also means that the servo is not given any leverage. Some of these, I don't know. These guys must operate in a different way. Like, lever arm to actuate the dig is proven. Like, we know this works. Direct dig arm is, I have issues. You can do it. You can do this. Ah! Like, if and when, if I manage to get this thing installed, I'll be able to show you. Man, that's sand. That sand is crazy. How easy is it to fit F10 portals on a 10.3? It would probably be very close to just bolting up. The pumpkin is going to be in about the same place. You might have to do some, like your panhard length might change if you're staying servo on axle. But I put 45 Pros on mine, and it's just all factory links. What was the one I just did a swap? I just swapped axles. Oh, that video's not up yet. I just exchanged element axles on a rig for a pair of Mias nylon straights, and I had to change the front uppers, and that's it. Every other link just went straight on. Didn't have to change anything. So anything that is like AR44 with AR44 based, the link mounts are usually very close. It might move an axle forward or back a little bit. You might have to, dial a rod end out a little bit. But for the most part, you just slap them on. Spectrum dig servos are from hell. You're not a big fan of the SX 107 and 108? Those are great. They're so good. They're so good. They'll actuate your dig once, maybe even twice. Might activate it even twice. Well, if you're lucky. If you said the proper incantations before. And I'm just ignoring Mr. Hurley asking, go install a rear diff cradle on a Jeep Patriot. What a diabolical sentence that is. Yeah, you might have to adjust Panhard steering links, that usual stuff. There's going to be some little link length differential stuff because the mount might not be in the exact same spot from one axle to the other. But man, you will be living a much happier life on F10Ps than you would be on the AR45Ps. As I've said, acknowledging that they are basically the same axle. One is just better made. Let's phrase it like that. My disdain for the AR45P is filed in the same column as Lindsey Sterling's music. I don't know why. I hate it. I hate it a lot. You know, those F10, those AR45Ps are sitting in a drawer. And those AR45Ps will go back on a rig sometime around July when I can buy those trail gear housings and move all of the pieces over. Oh, I regret. I regret everything. Where are the rest of these? I don't know. I noticed one other thing about this guy when I was taking him apart. We'll see how this works out for him, Cotton. XP Black Edition. Oh man, I'm all over it. I can't wait to get mine. Is a thing that you'll never hear me say. There is no situation. The level of performance that vehicle can potentially provide can never be high enough to justify the price tag. I thought you liked the 45P for the servo and axle design. Well, Pro 45, AR45 uses basically the same. You can get it aftermarket. Like the AR45P as it is never had a BTA mount. The Pro 45 from the 10 Pro, if we got one good thing from the 10 Pro, and if they will keep selling it to us, it is the Pro 45 axle, because I like the Pro 45 straights. I love the Pro 45 portals. I don't love them enough to spend $200 on them, and I hope that you don't love them that much either, but they are some of my favorite axles. Are the links on the mullet different from the normal VS410? Bought the HX flipper flapper and wonder if I should just buy a full kit or just chassis. You know, I don't know. They shouldn't be. The mullet links should be the same links that are on a stance or a carbon. Look up proprietary in the dictionary. I think the current printing shows the XP10 as an example. Yeah. Every single part of the shocks are proprietary. Axles, housings, knuckles, C-hubs, weights, everything. And we see this a lot. We build mullets, but has anyone ever built a beard? And would it work? So would that be portal front and the Pro 45s appear as discontinued on the axle side? Awesome. Awesome. Luckily, doesn't matter. Because the aftermarket, because of the way Axial does their business, the aftermarket had already glommed on to the Pro 45. And, no. Everybody tell Mr. Hurley that sticker is undeniably blue. I didn't know there were Pro 45P and A45P. Yeah, don't chalk it up to that's not your fault. That's their fault. Just name them something else, you know. But they're still calling it a 10.3, even though the Coyote has like 8 parts that are from the 10.3. They couldn't just call it something else. They should just call it a Coyote. It's light purple. Damn it. You guys, there is no purple on this body. None. It's blue. It's like royal blue with green and white and silver on it. But I know many of you think this is purple. I have been emailing. I have been emailing but it doesn't go through. And you're doing crawlercanyon@gmail.com. No spaces, no anything, just crawlercanyon@gmail.com. It's like purple with a low battery. Damn it, that's blue. Portal front, Leafs rear. Yikes. That's a choice. No, I think I hook this side first. Because I got to get over the servo. No, I do hook this side first because of the wires. I've only taken them apart once. The Traxxas green in a picture looks nothing like it. Well, that happens a lot. Yeah, I mean, remember when monitors and stuff were calibrated? Now, who knows what any of us are seeing? Like, I had to calibrate this and then use eyes. So what I see, when I looked at that monitor with that camera, this sign is the exact same color here that it is there. And I did that by, tinkering with the color settings in the monitor because that's my eyes and seeing that, and I want my eyes to see that and see the same thing. But I have no idea what you guys are seeing, right? Like your monitors are going to see what you see. That's the thing. If you want to slide down that rabbit hole, we can never know what Mr. Hurley sees. I can never know what Mr. Hurley sees, just as Mr. Hurley can never know what I see. We can never know because it is literally perception. We can never know what another person is seeing. Wild. I made a mistake. How bad is it going to be? Bad. Drive shafts. Drive shafts. We were doing so well for a few moments there. But this front drive shaft does not go on. Well, I guess if I had gone all the way, I could have done it with a panel off. Could have done that. Rabbit hole that purple doesn't exist. Pink doesn't exist. Pink is all the colors of visible light minus green. So pink is actually just minus green. And also there's a better one. There's no such thing as brown. Brown is just fully saturated orange. Yeah. If you go into a color table in like a graphics program and you select orange and turn the saturation all the way up, it's brown. There's no such thing as pink, and there's no such thing as brown. You're using AliExpress parts for your trucks and stating the truck that won Worlds in its first outing is not worth the price tag? Yeah. 100%. I don't give a shit what truck won Worlds, because the competitive aspect of it for me is not the thing that drives my enjoyment of the hobby. I'm not in it for the competitive environment of it. But let's not forget, people who throw down the thing about, well, here's what winners of grand competitions use. That's a corporate game. That's a shell game. They want you to buy something. And Reefs has applied an artificial cachet to that vehicle. They've basically tried to gaslight you. They've said, this guy won the Worlds with this, therefore it's better than X. But it's not. Because the guy that won Worlds with it could drive this and win Worlds with it. He drives what he gets paid to drive. He doesn't drive it out of the kindness of its heart. First on race day, sells on Monday. That's exactly how it works. Yeah, Reef's Hild Axial's driver. That's the same guy behind the 10 Pro, the discontinued 10 Pro. The 10 Pro that didn't survive 2 years on the open market. But the guy who won Worlds drove it, so it's obviously the best, right? Must be the best, because the guy that won is the one that drove it. He drove the one that won, and he won, so obviously it's the best. It's a circular logic that works for people who are in marketing. And marketing, you might find this surprising, marketing is designed to sell you things you don't need. Because if you need it, it doesn't need to be marketed for you. There's not a big market for things like clean air and fresh water, because they want you to pay for those in other ways. They want to get you those. They want to get you in the long game there. But the notion that the Reef's XP10 Black Edition is worth $900 because the guy won Worlds with it is what all of the people that work in marketing are absolutely hoping for. They're hoping that people will be like, you know what I can do? I can go on the internet and I can buy ability. I don't need to go and play with my toy cars. I just need to buy the most expensive one. And then I'll be the best because I've bought the most expensive one. Trying to take a dump on somebody because they build their stuff out of more inexpensive parts is what they like to call elitism. And elitism sucks. In a comp in Finland, a guy bought an Archie RTRX for sport, cut some bumpers, cut tires to pins, and beat everyone else. That is how it works. I instilled this in my children when they were younger. I said, I don't want to yuck your yum. I don't want to ruin your future enterprises. But here's what I do want to do. I want to instill upon you in this. Do something because you enjoy it. If the thing that works for you is victory, not competition, but victory, life is going to be very hard on you. Because no matter what your pursuit is, no matter what avenue in life you take, whatever angle you choose, wherever you go, whatever your passion and your pursuit happens to be, there's going to be someone out there who, without trying, is better at it than you are. So if you're here purely for the competition, you're going to get beat. You're going to get beat a lot. And real competitors know what it's like to lose, right? They don't win every time. Okay, that's not how it works. Ask any driver that drives in any racing series. They lose way more than they win. That's how it works. Nobody wins all the time. So don't just go into it for, I'm going to win. Competitors know you have to go in with the philosophy of, I'm going to win. You don't show up to lose. Every guy competing shows up to win. Nobody shows up to finish fifth. And that's the reason I don't compete. Because I don't give a shit if I win or not. It's not about the winning. For a lot of people, it's about the camaraderie, right? It's about what we've got going here, the community of it, right? And then you've got the elites. And I am not an elitist. I never would be. I say don't buy a red cat because it's not a good value. Okay? But if you have one, by God, enjoy it. Right? But I try to stop people ahead of time. If you told me today you had $900 burning a hole in your wallet and you were going to go buy a Reef's XP10 Black Edition, I would say, if that is the thing that you really want, then absolutely. If it's not putting you in the poorhouse, then if it's within your budget, go ahead. You are the one that needs to have the knowledge that you could have gotten more for your money, right? You're not buying a world championship by buying an XP10 Black Edition. You're buying something shiny. I misunderstood that on Red Cat then. Yeah, I don't, If somebody owns a red cat, I'm not like, oh, look at this idiot. No, that's not what it is. Now, when somebody vociferously defends their red cat Ascent and says things like, oh, well, I bought an Ascent Fusion and I went down to my driving spot and then I beat everybody. There were guys with rigs that were $1,000 and I beat them all. The truthful response to that statement is, those guys don't know how to drive then. Because you're going to go to a place at some point, some amount of rocks, and you're going to find a guy there that just wheels. It doesn't matter what you put in his hands. He can just drive it. I watched a guy in my very own yard take a TRX4 scale and trail with the big blazer on it and drive it up a rock like this by using the lockers. When it would get bound up and it would start to tip, he'd unlock the rear. And then it would brr, and he would kind of settle the front over, and then he'd relock it. That's driving. And he's having a great time. And he's not going to win any competitions doing it, but it doesn't matter. Because if the competition is why you're in it, then here's my recommendation to you. Take your $900, go down there, buy an XP10, and then what's going to happen is when you get beaten, probably by someone younger than you that invested less money than you did, you will have no excuses and you will have no one to blame but yourself. And if you show up on comp day and you get beaten and you were driving a $300 rig, if you were driving a rig that has less than $500 in parts in it and you lose, you go, meh. But if it's your XP10 that hits the rocks at $1,600 with full reefs end to end, then that shines an unfriendly, very bright light on what everyone else will call a skills issue. And $900 is not going to cover a skills issue. And I'm not, you notice I'm not saying anything about anyone specifically. I'm not saying I drive better than anyone else. I drive pretty good out here, but I'm not trying to be better than anyone else. I'm trying to be better. Oh, wait for it. This might be too touchy and feely for anyone in earshot. There's only one person I'm trying to drive better than, and that's me the last time I was out there. I'm learning things all the time. And if you're learning, you're growing. And if you're growing, then it's not a negative. It's always a positive. It's always a positive. It's in every hobby. It's inevitable. No matter how much you've spent or didn't spend, someone is out there that is ready and willing to tell you with glee about how much money they spent or didn't spend. I've ridden bikes with guys that ride fixies that are made out of sewer pipe. And they love them. And then there are guys that have $10,000 specialized limited editions, and they love them just as well. You were going to say, when I would drive your wife? I've given up. I think she just has more natural talent than I do. There are times when I'm afraid she's going to get stuck in something, and she just doesn't get stuck. Now, she can't drive towards herself. So I've still got that going for her. She's terrible at it. Truly terrible at it. And I have to stifle myself because she will beat me about the head and face. Okay, we've got a problem. I got to take the panel off anyway. I did it. How much did your rig cost? I don't care for that question much myself either. Now, if it was phrased just a little bit differently, say something along the lines of, how much would it cost to build something like that? Then I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you straight out and straight up. Because I don't believe explicitly in the, if you have to ask how much it costs, you can't afford it. We all have an amount we all have a more than I anticipated at the time. That's an excellent answer. With my bikes, the thing was never think about how much this thing cost. I built them over time, you know, like much of these. You cobble them together. There's a reason that I never bought a Vanquish Pro or an Ultra. Because one was, what? They were 700 and 800, and I couldn't do it. Do I have rigs that have more than that? Absolutely. Like, without question. But I couldn't do it in one shot. I'm a little late today. A little? You barely missed any of it. Okay, I put the wrong screw in the short screw. I think it's this one. It is. Hey! Comp points should give points for every $10 over X amount you spent on the build. My rants on the competitive environment go pretty far and wide because it's the way they're steering it. And you understand why. A lot of it is motivated by the consumerist aspect of it. They want you to buy more stuff, right? They don't want you to be happy with last year's model. Look at buggy racing. Like the new one has to be better than the old one. That's why you got to buy the new one. You know what? Can I? I think we might be able to get it through the window. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it fall in. It took 3 years to build my last fat bike. Catching good parts at good prices takes time. Yeah. Well, it's money. I've often shown my little gauge where it's money on one side and labor on the other. Time isn't, if it's not labor intensive, time is on one side, money is on the other. Because if you have time to sit and wait for parts to become available, then yeah, you can save yourself some money. And I will spend a little more ordering off of, Amazon because I want it right now. I don't want to wait for AliExpress. But I'm talking about the difference between something costing $60 and something costing $40. I'm not talking about dropping $900 on a slider. Like, there's nothing to justify that price. I own 2 Wizards. I can tell you factually. And my Wizards aren't nearly as heavy on the proprietary parts. From what I understand, Reefs doesn't even sell replacement axle housings. Yeah, so see, when we're in full 4-wheel drive, I can move this around. This linkage isn't tight. And even when I'm in dig, I can still wiggle it around. So those servos on those expensive things, the servo is under tension all the time. And servos, don't know if you know, servos don't like being under tension all the time. I love ordering stuff and not knowing what it is when it drops on my doormat. That is an inarguable advantage of AliExpress, because by the time it gets delivered to your house, you've forgotten what you ordered. Never ever make a list of what you spent on a rig you would pass out when you find out at the end. Yeah. With my bikes. Yeah. My Cervelo, I don't even... I don't even like to think about it. I changed power meters on it. It's had 2 power meters on it. And anybody who's put a power meter on a bike knows how much those cost. So. Now, if it's a straightforward build like this guy, it's $600. In that like $600 territory. But easier to justify. I think I put both of the rears on one side. That's a front. I think. Yeah, well, I've said this about when I was converting Jolly Green over to 6x6. He began life as a TRX4 Defender, and then he got a bunch of work, and then he got turned into a TRX6, and then he had one body, and then he had another body, and then we turned into a flat rail TRX6, and then I changed axle housing. All total, if we call him the same guy, if he is still at his core, Ship of Theseus aside, if he is still the same TRX4 Defender that I bought 5 years ago, he's cost at least $3,000, probably more. But he has discarded enough parts off twice to birth 2 children. So, you know, in this pursuit of ours, it sometimes feels like no cost is actually sunk. We can just keep moving the parts around. Parts come off of something, they go on to something else. And then think of all the money we saved by by building something else. I talked myself into a J-Concepts reactor, so. Do you think RC crawling is growing? Yes and no. Like, when I go out to places where people are, I'm like, oh, there's kind of a lot of people here. But then I think back, and I think back to the days when going to tracks and racing buggies and racing short course trucks and stuff, oh my God. It was not unusual to go to a race night and there'd be 150 people there on a race night. So crawling is not like crawling is still growing. Yes, I would say crawling as a subset of the hobby does still appear to be going up. I don't think it's receding because people are finding out that, well, once they get the mini addictions out of their head and they realize that they can just build a 10th scale. And this is California, man. Just build a 10th scale. So once they realize that they can put together a rig fairly inexpensively, I think here's the big determiner, is when the person buys or builds their first thing, whether they start with an RTR, buying something used off Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, whatever. If they don't feel like they got burned on their first one, and they realize that there are options that are either more economical, at the very least economical, then they might be likely to stay around. Getting a transponder was what ruined Friday night jams at the track for me. Went from being a fun time to who could get a faster lap. Yes. Crawling doesn't involve the psychotic hand-eye coordination and twitch response of short course and dirt racing. Yeah. They're kids' games. They're kids' games. Like they're just fast twitching. Also, you will notice his steering is poked a little that way, so that front tire's poked a little bit over. Look at his servo horn. Look at that twist. So I got that bound up. Well, just look at the angle that barrel's at. I got bound up and really twisted that thing. It's aluminum. You can bend it back once. Probably not smart to do it while it's attached to the servo. Oh no, the pickle. he's good to go. Yeah, it's fun. Aging, getting older, physically feeling it. Sometimes I can't tell the difference between the sound that's coming out of that and the sound that my brain thinks my ears should be making. These are Amazon no-name Econobox Capra offset Capra clones. Then you put 5mm stubs in them, the big stubs so they don't bend. Double cartons in the front axle so you can do road grader steering. And then usually you'll have to change at least the stubs and the inner shafts and the front shafts. Sometimes the ring and pinions are machined, they're okay. Sometimes they're not. But you can get the pair of axles as low as $100. You had never used a belt drive in a crawler? No, I have a couple belt drives. There was a belt drive on. Who's still on a belt drive? Who's still on a belt drive? Is it Bluebird? There's like 2 or 3 still on belt drives, I think. Because Colonel Mustard was on a belt drive for the longest time. Yeah, still is. Colonel Diablo is still because a 3-gear and TRX4 axles is a phenomenal amount of gear reduction, less reduction. Always on the belt drives. And there are 2 belt drives out there. One has the fine teeth on the belt, and one has the thick teeth on the belt. And you want the ones with the thick teeth. The fine ones will slip on the belt pretty much all the time. And why we would run a belt drive? Well, sometimes you can't get a spur pinion combo that is big enough. Sometimes it's like 2 to 1 that you need. I'm trying to grab any battery. I killed them all. Every battery here is at like 30%. 60. That'll do. That'll do. I've counted the splines on multiple belt drive units, and this one is like 2.3 to 1. I've seen others that are 2.6 to 1, and the most reduction I've ever seen on one is 2.8 to 1, which is still not a lot of reduction when you consider that like stock spur and pinion on an element is 1887, which is over 5 to 1. So 2.3 to 1 is doubling that. Yeah, no, you even if we held it right up to the microphone. He's currently got an 1800, and he's gonna get swapped to a He's going to get swapped to a 2200. He's getting the Hobby Wing. outer. 3530 outer. Because this is still, it's just not enough. It's like a Holmes team spec in there. It's just, it's not enough RPM. And I'll say it right now. And by the time I go to turn the cameras off, I'll already have forgotten. Which is the reason that he's still running that team spec. Because I have another vehicle that I want to put this team spec in. And then I have to pull all these electronics out. And I cut. Woody probably ought to have a belt drive. Yeah, he also should. I can put that. Yeah, I can get one in there easy. I have one. I need to cut all those zip ties, get it out, because the motor is direct wired to the speed control. So maybe part of it is me being lazy, and that's why I haven't done it. That's probably why. This guy still needs high clearance lowers. This guy needs like properly high clearance lowers. I don't want to make them. Just remember the thing I wanted to ask. What is it that makes the TRX4 axles a bad choice if steering amount is important for your build? So TRX4 axles don't use universals. They use a single CVD. And not only that, they use a single CVD, and the neck on the single CVD for the Traxxas is really fat. They're very difficult to break. So the steer angle, this is the maximum steer angle that you can get from a TRX4. It's not quite 45 degrees. And if you're dealing with something that's got, you know, Mias nylon straights, you're going way farther than that. Elements, like, he doesn't have his tires on right now because he's in between tire tests. But if we look at baseline at full lock, like, look at that. Look where that axle is. He has way more steering. So the least amount of steering of the crawler axles, of crawler specific axles, the least amount of steering you're going to get is a steering angle is going to be from a TRX4 axle. It's not the worst. AR60s are worse. RB14s are worse. Any of the bouncer axles are pretty bad because on something that goes really fast, you don't want that much steering. Then it becomes a problem. So, did we get where we wanted to go? Did we arrive? Did we arrive at the end? I feel like we did. I'm going to go. Is there a cardan for the element axles? No. I wish. And there's center pumpkin too. So you couldn't even modify any of this. Nobody ever made a double cardan for AR44. I don't know why, but nobody ever did. I would figure out how to modify them to fit on element axles if they existed, but they do not. I kept thinking the battery in this was going dead, and then I realized that the sensor is right there on the front of it, and it works really good when you don't have a cat bus parked in front of the sensor. It's funny. It's funny how that works. Crazy, one might say. I almost forgot to put my 0.9mm wire of a hex key away. Uh-oh. This just fell out from where he was sitting. So somebody just dropped a pin out of something. You know what? That's future me's problem. I'm going to definitely have to take extra vehicles for this weekend's filming of Wheelin' Wednesday, because that might have fallen out of one of the hexes. Oh, great. Awesome. I'm so looking forward to that. Kind of wish I hadn't found that. Yeah, definitely. It's not going to click. It's not going to click now. 2 spins, 2 seconds of camera 2. Look at that. Camera 2 was on the whole time. Neglected. Neglected. All right. Gonna pack it up? Oh, God. It's gotta be. I'm gonna walk out the door. It's 73 degrees in here. The swamp cooler is the absolute best. And I'm gonna walk outside and it is going to be genuinely hot. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Oh, next week, we're probably gonna build. We're gonna build the Mantis next week. I think that's what we're gonna do. I think I have everything I need in a bin. It's right under the bench, as a matter of fact. We're gonna build the Mantis next week, and then I think I have a build that we're gonna do the week after that, and then I think I have a build that we're gonna do the week after that. And I don't know if I'm gonna do the giveaway for April. I don't know if we're gonna build it in a live stream or if we're gonna build it in a series. Because next week we'll talk about what we're gonna do for that giveaway rig. Because I don't know. I have a bunch of stuff. The HC6. The HC6 I just need to sit down and work on. Because it's basically done. I need to mount the tires on those wheels. Get it put together. Get power put to it. It's one of those things. Mic and camera. The usual. The usual. All of the same stuff during the week. You know, we got the whole week. If members, any of you are green, you've probably seen the schedule already. And I'm already working on next week. I'm staying about 5 days ahead. Everything is looking pretty good. Somebody asked, it's an ISDT BG8S. My old one burned out. It comes with a little screen protector. Don't put the screen protector on it. It's awful. Absolutely awful. But it works pretty good. I used the same one for like 20 years, and then one day it died. So that one's been working so far. All right. I got a little bit of cleanup to do, and then go get a coffee drink. And I'm having Thai food for dinner. It's gonna be a great day. Don't click too many bones, everybody. I will see you all pretty soon. Yeah, I'll see you pretty soon. And yeah, I'm going to come home and I'm going to sit down to eat dinner and I'm going to buy $200 worth of J Concepts tires. Because I'm not going to be able to stop myself from doing it. So, I'll see y'all. I'll see y'all real soon.